Yes, and it was how was your week, girl? Open your eyes over there.
Girl, okay, so you know
Oh,
what? The
Lord.
highlight of my week, I mean, I had a pretty good week, mediocre, I'd say. But the highlight of my week was yesterday. I got a chance to get a mani pedi. So I was excited about that. You know, I cut my nails down. You know, I'm doing a natural thing.
I know you all short over there.
You know, so one broke, and you know the rest of them was long. They grow really good, you know, but one was short, so I had to feel like I cut all of them off, and then we have to just start over. But I'm good.
That's good.
What about you? Oh, and we was going to the gym. That's awesome.
Oh yeah.
We just erased all our goodness that we did. We was going to the gym. We was eating pretty good this week. And then we just had Jack in the Box.
Ruined it with some Jack in the Box just now. And it wasn't even that good. It wasn't even worth it.
It was real nasty.
It was not worth the...
And you know, girl, last night.
None
girl,
of that.
Let me ask you about your week before we get into last night. How was your week?
My week was good. It was smooth and steady. You know, I ain't let nobody bother me.
And steady.
As usual.
That's pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Last night, girl, why you do that to me?
Why do...
No, I wanted to go out last night because we haven't been out in a while, and we did that. We always have a blast when we go out. We have, you know, a vague memory of what.
Look, no, my memory. Look, I can't even talk right.
Your memory?
It was vivid.
Yeah. Really? Mm-hmm. You had some epic moments last night?
Yes, Lord. No, but we did have a good time going out last night, and you know, got to do the Scottsdale thing again. It was cool. I really do want to get out in another city soon.
Yeah. Girl, you know my birthday is coming up. I'm about to be 29 for real. Like for real.
She done got
29. And it's coming up. It's like sneaking up on me. Like I'm usually more prepared, and I'm really not prepared. Like I'm going out of town the following week after my birthday, but like I don't really have anything planned for my birthday, and it's kind of weird because I usually start telling people about my birthday like last month.
You didn't really do that last year though either. You
really
was kind of calm with it.
Maybe
well,
I'm getting old for real.
I was just about to say you getting old. That's all, and that's okay.
Girl, I need some water.
You got some. So today, y'all, we do have special guest O.D. Harris and Miss. Look, I want to call her Miss That Creole Girl. Does that flow right? We have That Creole Girl, as well as O.D. Harris coming in today. Definitely big shout out to them. They will be in the building shortly. And we're going to be talking about a few things. As a matter of fact, earlier this week, I did post on my Facebook, and I got a lot of feedback and just really good conversation from a lot of different people. And there were different views, you know what I'm saying? So the question was, how do you feel about women calling their men daddy, zaddy? Or do you think that has some
daddy
kind of...
with a D or a Z as in... zebra.
We talking about with the
daddy.
D. With the D. Capital. Now, does that, in your mind, and a lot of people have different views on it, but in your mind, do you see it as like, a female having daddy issues, or she's just nasty and out loud with it?
I don't know. I really don't understand it, honestly, because it's like, part of me want to say they have daddy issues, but the other part is I really just don't get it because, like, why would you call a man daddy and y'all have sex? Like, and they usually do it most times it's in a bedroom, and it's like, that seems where it's so inappropriate there.
It seems inappropriate to you in the bedroom?
Yeah.
Now, I had a lot of feedback, and we won't get too deep into it right away, but I did have a lot of feedback. Some women do that.
But that's what I don't understand. Like, I understand, like, the whole aspect, it's somebody who taking care of you, love you unconditionally, things like that. But in the bedroom, it seems weird.
Yes. I think the majority of a lot of responses that I got where it's weird, just overall. But there were a lot of women and most of these women were married. The ones that said they actually do call their man daddy. I want to say it was about 6 different people. I'm going to pull it up in a minute. But a lot of women that do call their significant other daddy, they're married. So they're like, yeah, I call my husband daddy. Her face just twisted up. But I mean, to each his own.
Yeah, to each his own. And part of it seems like it's kind of sexy. Like, because I work on the phones and stuff. And people call in to me and they're like, they was calling their husband's daddy in the background. And it was, it's kind of cute, in a sense. But I just think it's inappropriate in the bedroom. That's all. It's like, that's where it creeps me out at.
Yeah.
Like on a regular day-to-day basis, just talking to him maybe. Because it's cute, sexy, and you stroking your man's ego a little bit. So I can understand that. But as far as just in the bedroom portion where they do it, it just creeps me out. And then especially for people that still have fathers in their lives or who grew up with fathers, they're people who doing it too. And it's just like, how can you call your husband daddy and you still have a dad? And me, I don't have a dad. So I'm just like, people like, saying that to me and call me daddy. I'm like, I don't have a dad.
Like,
and you're not going to be called daddy. Like, no.
Cut it out. And as a matter of fact, there, like I said, a lot of women had that same response. But there were some women that said they want to save that terminology, daddy, calling a man daddy, strictly for the bedroom. So it's really opposite of what you said. Yeah. Let me actually read a few. What you know? What?
Wait, we'll
wait. I'll
wait.
wait. Look, I'm just ready to jump into it. What you got?
Did you hear about Idris Alba?
No.
Girl, you have a chance to go on a date with him.
Why? Look, I'm like,
why? You look so concerned. I thought you would be happy about
I mean, he old. He real old.
He's sexy though. You like old men, I thought.
I do.
Okay.
What?
So this is a perfect opportunity. Idris is doing a contest for charity where you can you can contribute some money, spend some money. You get entries into this drawing and you have a chance to win a Valentine's date with him. And girl, he said you can do anything your little heart desires.
Little heart desires.
Mm-hmm. So I thought you would be so excited about this, and you seem like a little bit concerned. I'm kind of confused.
I'm sorry. I just have a lot on my mind right now. Look, I can't process that right now.
So wait. So if you had a chance to go on a date with Idris, like what would be your perfect date?
Look. With Idris Elba. I think we'd have to be. Can we choose the destination?
You can do whatever your little heart desires.
Your little heart desires. I think I want to be in London or somewhere. And just listen to him talk with that little accent he got.
Okay, it's a date. So
okay.
Where would y'all go?
Look, I'm somewhere in London, just listen to him talk. Maybe some water in the background. Somewhere over.
So you would be on the beach or ocean view or something.
Yeah, some kind of ocean view, lake view, something with some water nearby. Just something scenic.
Would it be like candlelight dinner? Would you have?
The first, yeah. Look, I had to think.
This is what Idris. He's saying you can do anything you want, your little heart desire. I really thought you would be so amped and you would be so excited about this, and you don't even know what you would do. You don't even know what you would do.
She's so mad at me, y'all. I ain't even ready.
You ain't even ready. I don't even know what to say about that.
I ain't even ready. You right. What would you do?
Girl, I wouldn't even be participating.
Well, why?
Because he seemed like he would be cool. I would donate to the charity or whatever, but I'm not really too pressed. If somebody want to take me on a date, even if it's him, I feel like you should want to. I don't have to pay you to take me on contribute some funds for you to take me on a date. I don't want to win a date.
That's probably why I didn't react the way you expected me to.
I just, I don't want to win a date. If you want to take me out, we can go out, but you have to ask and you have to court me and you have to show me a good time and do whatever you think my little heart desires.
Your little heart got a lot going on today.
Do it?
Yes. Your little heart desires.
Really?
Yes.
What do you mean? I don't even understand. I'm so confused right now.
Get it together.
I also, so we're gonna talk about daddy issues, not daddy issues, but using the word, calling your significant other daddy. I also want to talk about, since OD Harris and Creole Girl, they are into media, they production and everything. So I want to get their intake on Mariah's performance. And if something happened like that to them, I want to know like what they think about it and what they would have done if they were a part of that. I also want to talk about the male dancers. Vivica Fox has a new show coming out. What is the show called? It's called Black Magic. Vivica's Black Magic, I think that's the name of the show, where she's selecting men and they thrusting all over you and putting on a show and stuff.
Are you into that?
I never been to a show like that.
Me neither. I don't know. It just seems
think that they're
gay.
Yeah, I think they're gay.
Yeah.
She said that they're not though. And then
That's
her
what they all
perspective
say.
of it is like
That's what they all say.
her perspective of it is that they're coming. She is giving the woman what they want to see. Like she's choreographing it and everything. Like she's producing it and everything. She's telling them what to do or what women would like to see. So I think it's interesting. But I want to know, like, is that something that you are, if you're in a relationship or if you're married or whatnot, does the spouse allow his woman to do that? Does he is he against it?
Look,
if she wants to do it, a lot of women are. They pay more than dudes do at the strip club. Mm-hmm. These women, especially the older women,
the more lonely bitter bitties.
Bitter bitties. No, they ain't gotta be bitter, but
right now. But yeah, I mean, they older. They got a little cash to drop, and they do. They be cashing out. I'm not into that though. Not the.
You into the more private shows, huh?
Yeah. Look. Yeah.
You too much. All right. Well, we're going to get into some music. Our guest should be here in about 10, 15 minutes or so. We'll get into some music and we'll come back and jump right into these topics. You are tuned in to Support District Radio.
My Radio Phoenix.
Thank you.
We back, and our special guests have arrived. Talk to us now. Let us know what's going on.
What's up, everyone? This is LD Harris.
Creole Girl live.
Look, Miss Creole, you gotta put your mouth on it now, girl. Come on,
Put your mouth on it.
put your mouth on it.
Oh,
look, you got right on the side.
this is a weird looking shape, so I feel some type of way talking to this mic.
You know how to hold it right. Look, Look, Creole, you got to put like right on the side there. On the side, you got to tuck into
Just
it.
rub it.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, God. They already done started, Lord.
I'm happy to have you guys. Definitely. We discussed this around Christmas time.
Yep.
OD was kind of flaky.
Ooh, no, she didn't.
I had to go to Creole, like, come on, put this on this guy. He like, I don't know. Well, I'm glad y'all here.
Because I'm conservative. Creole is the liberal. So I don't never know what's going to. But if y'all see me grab her arm, like, come on. That's because I don't know. Just hopefully.
When OD ain't with us.
I just hopefully
It
that
really
they'll.
get grimy.
Uh-oh. Oh, she keeping it censored for you. That's right. That's right.
I'll keep it rated R instead of rated XX.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Look, we may need to
So
have,
when he not here, I'll keep it rated X. We have an X, triple X when he not here.
Really? Okay. I'll be listening to that.
She must know about that website.
What you know about that? Why am I laughing? Because I know about it.
I know about it.
I'm in media.
I know about it.
Shoot, that's a website. What?
That's trap, OD.
y'all off the hook.
That's trap.
I'm just saying. You know what? I think we all need to just face the facts. No matter how conservative you are, you know everything about everything. You know what I'm saying? And even the people who be watching a little trap, hip hop video, they be acting like, oh, they seen that fight. They know good and well. They may not reshared it, but they know they be watching.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They watch it on the low. And that's
And they probably replay it.
Guys, I want to call this show Professionals Uncensored.
Okay. That's good. That is actually perfect.
Put it on my Facebook Live. Hashtag
Professionals Uncensored. Yes, that's exactly what we are.
Oh my goodness, this is gonna be a little much, y'all.
Right.
This is about to be a straight up bumpy ride.
It's not gonna be that bad.
Well, we're
gonna
gonna keep it clean. We still gonna keep it clean, classy.
And this is
Well, I don't believe you, because why are you smiling while you saying that?
because I'm happy you guys are here. That's it.
We're going to keep it clean with a big old smile. She got a big old smile. We're going to keep it clean. We're not going to talk about toys or basketball shit.
Right, we are gonna have to. Yeah, we got to come in with Lovely on pillow talk.
Get there, do that pillow talk.
Look, she ready.
So before we went on the break, our topic of today, we discussed it, is calling your significant other daddy. You know. So
Yeah, I told when we was on break, we was talking about it, and I said, Elizabeth, I said, the Creole girl, she be calling me daddy.
No.
And she said no. But then she said her mama called her daddy Papa. So I was like, there ain't nothing wrong with you can call Papa. You call me Papa, Daddy.
But listen, in that industry, and those years ago was okay, acceptable. But we in 2017 where we got too much stuff going on, too much trap stuff with Pippin and Owen.
Ain't nothing to see.
Well, that stuff been going on.
Right.
That stuff was going on back
Pippin
then.
ain't
So
easy.
But
what's
it
the
wasn't
difference?
so blunt. It wasn't so open. We
Was
weren't
it?
open now with a lot of stuff. It was kind of hidden back then.
It was open. I thought they was more open back then. Well, I sipped my water.
You know,
Sipping his coffee.
she knows how to sip on that bottled water.
Oh, look, he done brought it, Rita. I don't know if he was ready today.
See,
Good morning, it's Saturday morning. Yeah. What you was doing last night, Rita? What you was doing?
Look, I'm actually about to start blushing. Y'all don't put me on Fresh Street right now. Not right now. We was talking about calling your man daddy.
Oh, okay.
Look,
so we can't. So
We got to refocus. We got to
refocus
yeah.
it. Okay.
We got to bring you back in.
Entrepreneurs Uncensored, right?
A
Professionals Uncensored.
Professionals.
Yeah, I think that, I'll call my woman, I'll call her mama. What you want me to call you, Creole? What you want me to call you, baby?
Call me Madam Queen. Call me Queen Elizabeth.
First of all, I tell you, she lying because I asked her.
Call me
I call
Elizabeth.
her.
Say, always remember the Queen.
No, one time I told Creole, I said, "Hey, Queen." She's like, "Don't be calling me that Queen. Don't be getting me all caught up in that Queen, that African stuff like that." That's what she said to me. I said, "I'm gonna call you Queen then."
I hate people who always do that when they take it over, because then if you saying Queen, oh my King, all this, so a lot of time they be fake on some crap, on some fake stuff.
Yeah.
And they ain't really like.
They
But
just
if
be
I call
saying
you
it.
Queen, you gotta
You
know
ain't really
you
about
Queen.
it.
If I call you Queen, you should know you Queen.
Yeah, but you don't really call me that though. You always call me Creole. So stick to Creole.
You want me to call you Creole?
Oops,
call
take
me.
the Creole.
She ain't playing with you,
That's
OD.
who it is, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, don't start something new because that ain't how you don't call me.
Yeah.
Right.
No,
like,
I know I'm a queen. He ain't got to tell me that because I already know that.
No, but I need to remind you. I need to remind you because you know what the problem is.
Just tell
Gotta
me you love me,
remind
that's okay.
you.
I gotta let you know that you Queen, because if I don't, some other joker may come around and say it, and I haven't said it in a while, and then you gonna be like, "Ooh, he called me Queen."
He adores
I know that's
me.
You
right.
know what I'm saying?
No.
I gotta learn how to use my words.
He ain't playing
around
with
her.
you, Creole.
I'm trying to, she knows she ain't going nowhere. She's stuck with me for the rest of her life.
Stuck.
Stuck.
Look at her. She
We
blushing.
never stuck. I'm with you because it's just a choice.
Oh, really?
Remember that.
Well,
Oh,
good.
she didn't-
Well,
she
made
said
the
she
right
chose up.
choice.
Look, I'm just instigating.
Now call me daddy.
Chose up.
I don't know. I think that if I respect you, you respect me, and there's a certain language I like to use in my relationship, I think you should use it. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's daddy or whether it's, whatever, African king, my king, you know what I'm saying? I like to be called nice names too. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
So
Lord.
being that you're a father, like you're actually a dad to someone, you would want your woman to call you that?
My woman call me anything she wants.
I cannot stand him today.
You can call me whatever you want.
What's your name on Facebook? I'm trying to tag you. What's your trap name on Facebook? I can't tag you on Facebook.
We got our governments on Facebook.
I know.
It's our governments on
your name
Facebook.
on
It's
Facebook?
ETTA.
Okay, I got you. And what's your government name on Facebook?
It's RENIECE.
Okay, I got you.
Putting that professional voice on.
Honey, I know some trap names. And I got my government name on Facebook.
Look, I got a lot of church folk on my Facebook, so it ain't no trap. Ain't no trap talk.
They made us do that now. Remember, we used to all have trap names on Facebook.
Yep. They want you to.
They said, I
So
need your
wait.
first and last name.
Creole, you from the trap?
Do what?
You from the trap?
No, but they got me on
She
that
from
trap.
Compton. She from Compton. She from the trap.
Let me clarify that.
What, Compton?
For people who always want to, because I was somewhere and somebody talked about, they was like, oh, I grew up and I had to fight for my life. And that's not, let me tell you something. I am from Compton, California, and I ain't fight for my life. I was in private school. I used to walk down the street, and I never had a problem. Now, maybe when I left, Compton got like that, but when I was there in the 70s, and my people at their house, it was a middle-class neighborhood. Miss Cammy to the left was a white woman. Miss Turner was a black woman. My neighbor across the street was an Asian woman. It was an upper middle class area. So I'm not sure where he was from, where he couldn't hit to walk down the street with a bulletproof vest, but I didn't. So I'm just throwing that out there.
Okay, so do you call OD daddy?
No, I don't call it OD.
How do you feel about that? Like when other women do it? Like,
I think it's weird to each his own. To me, when I'm thinking I think you being very submissive. I'm not a submissive person. So we always battle with that.
That's real submissive.
That's too submissive to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying you're supposed to be a little submissive to your husband or your partner or something. Supposed to be equal to me.
Yeah.
Equal. He needs to be just as submissive to me as you want me to be to you. So I'm not really big on a submissive like that. So that wouldn't. No.
Do you think that they have daddy issues?
Or you think they just nasty?
Because you know what? I'm going to tell y'all. I looked this up. I Googled it. Like, calling daddy on Urban Dictionary.
Okay.
They said that's for a name you call somebody who hitting it right.
Yep, that's true.
They also
That is true.
No, this is the
Listen, now if
Urban
he hitting it
Dictionary
right,
is like WikiLeaks.
now, let me also
make up
rephrase
stuff.
that now. People, if you call him daddy while y'all in a a sexual situation, then that's okay.
Is it?
What I'm saying, you're not gonna.
That's what a lot of people
if
say.
He's saying mama and he's saying oh my, or because God, people say crazy things during sex. Because people say weird. Listen, people say things constantly having sex when you're not really knowing. Think about it. When you're having sex, you're in the moments. You probably say some crazy things.
I don't say daddy because that's the last person I'm like. That's so weird. That's what makes it weird to me.
But I'm just
like,
saying,
in the
people-
bedroom.
It's called.
People
You gotta
say
have
weird
erotic. You gotta have erotic words in the bedroom. Like
That
some
is
people,
erotic.
when they have an intimacy, they like to be talked to. They like to be
Yeah.
talked through that process, or they like to just There's like to each his own. To each person that gets in the room and decide to lay down, there's a certain type of chemistry that they're going to have or want to have in that bedroom, and that bedroom may be talking, you know what I'm saying? Because intimacy, sex, intercourse is mental. Like something up in your brain causes you to have the orgasm, and then it trickles down to your body, to the inner parts of you that cause the orgasm to happen. So orgasm starts in the head. That's why back in the day, phone sex and all that other stuff was really, really big, and pornography is really, really big because it does something. It trickles the mind. And when you're releasing these type of chemicals in your head, it's like a serious thing. Like sex can be very addicting. That's why it can be worse than drugs because of the fact that you're stimulating something in the mind that it's hard to tap into, and only sex can tap into that chemical. And when that chemical is released, it causes this natural explosion. This is why people are so connected to people when they have intimacy, because of the fact that when that chemical is released, it causes you to be attracted because you said that person released a chemical. Your mind says that person
It's
released
in your
a
body.
certain
His
chemical
semen's inside your body.
Yeah.
But I
Until
don't
you
think
wash it out.
It's not the semen.
You shit out.
It's
Oh
not,
my God!
it's not
Look,
the
I'm like,
semen.
oh my God!
It's not the semen. It's the mouth game. It's the mind game.
The
It's
mouth
not the
game.
semen.
Wait a minute. Where are we going with this?
I love you,
That's how, like,
the
you gotta
mouth
go for
game.
real. Yeah, like if you can't,
What that
make
mouth
your girl,
do?
if you can't, you got to make your girl be able to orgasm from the conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like people have sporadic like spurts of orgasm. Like women have spurts of orgasm. They can have that just from simply having a great conversation with a guy, or they can have a late night arousal thinking about someone because of how they touched them or how they made them feel, or how they touched that earlobe, or maybe a guy touched you in a place that you never been touched before, and it could be something just as simple around your earlobe that causes the orgasm to happen. Because again, that's your spot. And when he finds your spot, it doesn't really matter if it's the click. It just matters if it's mentally have that person stimulated these certain things in my mind to make me want to orgasm.
That's too bad. Look, I'm like, this is too bad.
I don't know. I'll be watching these, like, I watched this one show, and it was talking about, like, sex and how it works and stuff like that. And I was listening to it, and I was watching it, and I was just like, it was amazing how the body is not about a person. That's why people get turned off, because they just want to hurry up and have sex,
Yeah.
Because then she's like, well, I need foreplay, Well, foreplay is just simply talking her through what's about to happen, or making her feel what's about to happen, so she can become stimulated to what's going to happen down there. So really,
you gotta have foreplay for sex. Well, I'm not just jumping right into it. If you can't give me no foreplay, then we don't need to do anything. Let's get to foreplay first.
Yeah,
like R. Kelly say, foreplay.
Unless I done already got myself together, but it's foreplay involved.
Joe James said, "That's the truth." OD, I know what I'm talking about.
Look,
that's why I take sex very seriously. I tell people, be careful who you have sex with. Cause think about it. Back in the day, think about it. When you don't have sex with a guy or a girl, not saying guys, but girls, you ain't tripping. You don't start to trip and say if he's cheating on you until after you have intercourse with him. If you haven't had intercourse with him yet and you find out some silly stuff that he's doing something, okay, bye. Bye, Felicia.
Yeah.
You're not tripping.
Absolutely right.
But once you guys have sex and come together, you can give him your body. He has your body. It becomes a whole different ball game.
Yeah, I believe it's a spiritual transaction.
Absolutely.
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 Delivering service and good. That's why.
Absolutely.
That's why, you know what? Even with women, and when you touch a woman and stuff like that, that's why, like, they have like almost like 3 different spots where they can, like, down there. In their area, they have like 3 different spots where their clicks, where their hot spots are. You know, you got the clit that's right on the outside.
Oh my God, is my mom listening?
And
your mom has the girl. She know all about it.
Listen, you need to be going downtown on a regular basis, fellas.
If they put if like another spot that's inside of a woman is like 1 to 2 inches inside her vagina in the upper way, that's another spot that she has.
And think about it, it's harder for a woman to come versus a man. He's on the outside, our organ's on the inside. Got to work a little harder.
And you got to find it too.
Yeah, but
absolutely.
Do y'all know it's a whole bunch of women out here who say they never had an orgasm and they have kids. They have sex with multiple partners.
Haven't had sex. It's
like
having
right,
a baby.
that's real.
Until you have a baby natural, like I have not had the epidural. I've had my babies.
All natural?
All natural. Until you have a baby natural, you ain't had a baby. Because you know why I'm going to say that? Because you ain't feel nothing. Yeah. When you're paralyzed from waist down, and that's got to tell you to push,
right?
You ain't had no baby.
Right.
You ain't had no baby. I had a baby. I had 2.
Girl.
Speak
so
to
you
it.
You ain't had no orgasm. You ain't had no good dick.
That's
you ain't had no good penis.
Say, but at the same time, I'm like, do you even know maybe you don't know what an orgasm is?
Thank you.
Because
like,
it's
how feeling like,
how can you?
It's like
shake.
It's like you step out your body for a second. Like, okay, all right, look, I'm back.
Like the Holy Spirit.
But that's absolutely right. I'm like, what are y'all doing if y'all not having orgasms?
Well, you know what the thing is that
this is
maybe
weird.
Can you? I wonder, can women have an orgasm and not know she had an orgasm?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Your world is taking over.
It's like being pregnant. I never can understand when anyone say they're pregnant. I was pregnant for 6 months and I didn't know.
You knew.
I did not know.
You knew.
Well, I've seen them shows where they say they didn't know. They have they go through a whole pregnancy and not know.
How did you
I
not
don't know.
That's
you knew.
How did you not know you was pregnant?
Knew.
That's crazy.
When someone just dumping at you and
they ignoring the signs. But what I think
you're in denial.
It could be high.
Right.
You in denial. That's what it is. As far as this whole like orgasm thing goes, I think that a lot of people, because they may be, squirting, if they don't, if maybe they think if they don't squirt, that's not an orgasm. Maybe that's what they're really looking for. But it's it's different levels to this. I say
it's funny because I've never been with a woman that squirted.
I never squirted either, but I had an orgasm. I can tell you that.
Thank you.
I know for sure.
I don't know. The question is that if they have never had an orgasm, maybe they don't know their own body. I think,
right.
like, you know, like, for instance, like people who masturbate, right? If they masturbate, that's self-pleasing. That means that if you can self-please yourself, that means that you should be able to talk your partner through how to please you.
Yeah.
A lot of times, I think that two people when they're intimate, sometimes if you want to feel a certain way, sometimes people try to leave it up to the imagination when they get ready to have that encounter, and they leave it up to the imagination of that person to figure out your body. By the time you lay down in that bed, you should know your body, or you should be getting very familiar with it real quick, because there may be certain ways you may say, I like the way you touch me here, I like the way you touch me there, because a lot of people don't talk that through, and then when you're new with that person, you're newly connecting with that person, you need to tell that person, I want to be touched like this. I want to be treated like this. Or, you know, oh, you're doing it too hard. You need to soften up, or, you know, that kind of stuff. And so when you're hitting it, I think it's important that both people, like, communicate and talk about how that correction should happen. And then when they do that, then both people get the maximum orgasm that they can possibly have.
But a lot of people don't want to teach their partners. They feel like, you know, you're 30, you're in your 30s or over. You know, you should already know how to please a woman.
But if it's somebody that you love and you want to build a relationship with, talk to them, have a conversation.
Walk them through it.
They're not making you happy. Hey, I need you to go downtown a little more.
Right, be like, no, look me in my face.
More. I mean, you got to let them know and communicate.
Do you have a spirit to learn?
Thank you. Tell them what you want, your expectations are.
Yeah.
You open up your learning ears right now.
Yes.
Absolutely.
You know, but I think
that
if you have that conversation, I think it should be... If you have that conversation, it should be it's a very delicate conversation, because you can offend the person that you're trying to be connected with. But if you like in that mode and you have an intimacy and they're opening up their mind, because you really need a person that's open to having that open, you know, because sex is a way that you can really open up every part of you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if you open it up every part of you, then you need to be able to say, oh, I like when you do that. And sometimes they may not know. And then sometimes you can take their hand and you can guide their hand up your thigh. You know what I'm saying? And you can guide their hand through your panties if you want to touch that way. Or you can guide their hand through your shirt, through your top, through touch your breasts and your nipples and the back of your earlobe. And you guide them through it. You don't got to talk. You just say, guide, just wait, hold on. Just guide. And if they're trying to hurry you up, then learn, then teach, you know, then touch them. You know, grab their stuff. Grab where they makes them feel good.
Did you write a book on this?
No, I didn't write a book. I'm just saying. I mean, I was married for many years.
Every day.
You know?
Maybe you should write a book. Because a lot of people don't know this stuff.
Creole got me ready to fall out of my chair.
I mean,
Coming from the conservative.
Right.
Coming from the conservative.
Every time.
well, I
The
mean, I learned a lot
conservative.
from Donald
Yeah,
Trump's
right.
wife.
The only first history you can Google and find her vagina on the internet.
Yes.
Shame.
Oh no, I just think that, you know, it's talking about, you talking about making love, or you talking about having sex?
You know what's interesting question I always give people, me and my girls get together, a guy asked me, which was always interesting, do you use toys? And I have never used toys. I've never been wanted to. Like, I need the real thing. I
can't. It just I don't know the toys that don't do.
Never.
Girl, you ain't got no
fast.
vibrator?
I don't.
You never tried?
No.
Really?
Nope.
That
You know, I'm thinking back. I attempted. And when I was like, this, what kind of, I said, well, can you get off on this? I wanted my money back. I was at a sex party. I'm a paralegal, so old lady in my office, she had a sex toy party. Older, she's like 65 years old. It was so fun. Now, she had like little penis straw. It was fun. Yeah. The cake, it was a good time. And I bought one for her.
And you was drinking out this penis straw?
Yes, I was. and I bought a bullet, the silver bullet I bought. And I was just like, this is not fun.
Girl.
You got a bob? You had a bob?
I can't say
bob.
Okay, so when you do it, you're supposed to be somewhere mentally.
Right.
Mentally.
See? Okay?
I need to have the real thing.
Right.
I mean, of
Like, let me
course.
make a
I'm
phone
like, no,
call. 'Cause
I'd rather
ain't
make
gonna
a phone call than make to some gadget. I need to make a phone call.
I mean, we're not replacing the man, definitely. You definitely not supposed to replace the
Is that
man.
the gold?
I'm sure I won't have a hard time getting laid, right?
Right. But some women play with themselves before they like go on dates and stuff, so they won't be so have
Worked
an urge to like just pounce on a man because
he'll see it in your face.
Right.
He'll see it in your face.
I'm waiting for the face. I'm waiting for the look.
That's just like on Being Mary Jane. She did that all the time. I know you watch Being Mary Jane.
Yes.
She played with herself all the time before she went out, so she won't just be so ready. Like you have to release that stuff because then you be like, have an attitude. When you backed up, you need a tune up, girl. You got to get the tune up.
Get in alignment,
I
girl.
said you need a tune up.
Yes.
Well, that's when you know when we have. Look, when they get older,
I'll make a phone call to get tuned up before I go out. It's a real deal.
There won't be no phone calls being made anytime soon.
Right. Do not disturb.
Disconnected.
You've reached.
Right. The number you dial. The conversation you tried to have.
The Sprint PCS user.
No, better yet. Hello? I'm like, who is this? This ain't the Creole girl.
Definitely not.
Right.
You missed the time.
Y'all are off the hook.
I don't know.
Boy.
I think that people need to, it's funny, and I would just say this, like some of my church friends, they have vibrators and
They
stuff
like it,
that.
trust me. Church people, stop fronting. I'm going to put you on blast. You like it. You know why I know you like it?
Front
Because
Street.
the pastors in my inbox, the married ones, the single ones, the ones on TV, the ones around Arizona who everybody worship, in my inbox. You like it.
They
And
want
you
you
like
to
it
do
nasty, too.
They want to do an interview. They just want to do a media interview. That's it.
Stay out my inbox.
Media interviewer.
Right.
Look, a screenshot is alive and available.
Yes, it is.
It's 2017.
Please, I've been
Creole got
telling.
the screenshot.
I
The
said, please.
screenshots.
I don't understand
And
why
the only
guys
reason I
set
have it
themselves
because he
up like
begged me
that.
not to. The only reason I have not because me, I don't care. I
Look
put
at
you
your
on
husband
blast.
in my inbox.
Thank
My
you.
Lord.
Yeah, my Lord in your inbox. But you know what though? These women, they know what their men is doing.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
They know they ought to be out there cheating and hoeing, doing all kind of stuff. And they're not going to leave them anyway because
But what
most
do you-
women got low self-esteem anyway.
So what do you
and
do
when a
with
woman
that?
stay with a cheating man, if there's a problem, look at yourself in the mirror. Because I'm better than that. I'm not going to stay around with you while you running around dicking down everybody else.
Yes.
Because disease and age is very real.
Yep.
Yes, it is.
And
But
that's
what do you
something I
do
don't
when the
play
bedrooms
with.
get boring? That's the thing. What do you do?
If you don't communicate, because once you stray out on me, I'm good. It's a wrap.
Yeah.
There is no
That-
counseling for cheating with me in my life.
Right.
Right.
That is something that you need to communicate. Me,
Absolutely.
you really don't have no reason to step out. It's not going to get boring, so you can't use that for an excuse.
Thank you. If you with me, you ain't going to be bored. You bored? OD?
You bored?
No, I'm not.
Because I'm a Cancer.
She said you bored. OD.
No. It is life. Okay? It's life.
And I dare you to say something different. I dare you to say something different.
I didn't come here to get
Yo,
I'm a lot.
she ain't playing with you. She is
I'm
not
a lot of-
I'm
playing.
sweating right now. We need to go to a commercial.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in to Code Red. This is the conservative. What are we? No. What are we?
Professionals
Uncensored. Yes. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Support District Radio, my Radio Phoenix. So much for tuning in to Code Red on Support District Radio, my Radio Phoenix, and we back on air with our special guest O.D. Harris and that Creole girl.
You know what it is. And we talking real nasty, y'all. We talking real nasty.
You get nasty. We really nasty.
Talk that nasty, but something just came up. I learned this week. It's
Okay.
fire
What you
stick-
learned?
It's fire stick and ink now.
Fire
that?
stick and ick. Fire
It's like
stick and-
Netflix and chill. Now it's Fire Stick because they went from Netflix to the Fire Stick. Because you can watch everything on the Fire Stick.
Yeah.
We need some Apple in it.
Let's apple it and chill.
That's too much. They being real straightforward now.
That's some cold
Wow.
words, you know?
I'm not Netflix and chill with nobody.
Right.
If I'm single, I'm not Netflix and you don't come up and just screw me and we going out. Spend some money. That's how I get there.
Spend some money. And
Well, if you're my man, we can Netflix and chill and
Right.
fire stick, but I'm not fire stick with randoms. No. Take me out and spend some money. I need dinner. I need a shopping spree. I need to go to dinner. I need my nails done.
Oh, then
I need a couple
How you
things.
get Miss Creole?
You know what? I gave her what she needed.
I know that's right. Oh. All she needed was some. 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 All she needed was some.
You know what? It's funny because our relationship kind of started. First of all, when we started our relationship, it was like business, professional. We was always doing that, you know. And then eventually, I think we just kind of grew into each other. You know, when you hang around someone long enough, it just kind of becomes like she become your work wife.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, well, I'm not seeing nobody else. She ain't seeing nobody else.
That make it seem like you settled.
Huh?
That make it seem like you settled.
Oh, well, no.
You settled
No.
You settled now?
I can't stand
Is you bored or you settled?
Is you bored?
I love that.
That might be a different show.
No, and the real story was,
Right.
let's see what happens, because I like you.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you. I told Creole that I liked her and stuff like that, and she was acting. I liked it her, and she was acting all shady and stuff like that. No, OD, are you ready for a woman like me?
Because I'm high maintenance,
Yes,
and that's just what it is.
Jesus.
That's all right.
And I'm not ashamed to be high maintenance. You know what? I need my hair done. I need gifts, because I like gifts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do too.
I
I
like
can't.
gifts.
Why do I feel like I'm in the hospital? I thought
You just be
And I'm
getting.
not ashamed of it. It ain't about being gold. I like gifts.
Right.
Because if I
And
got
that's not being
like,
bougie.
oh, I like gifts. I like my nails to be done. I like, oh, hey, baby, get your hair done. I like a spa day.
But you know what?
I like gifts.
I'm gonna tell you honestly. Even though she does like all that stuff, but I will say this much. Even though she talking good game, but at the end of the day, Creole is a very humble woman, and she doesn't look for a man to do anything that he doesn't want to do. So she gives me a free course to be the man, and then when she gives me the free course to be the man, then she can discern whether she wants to accept the man that I am.
Yeah.
And so when I started liking her, it was because she allowed me to be the man. She made me feel a certain type of way, and a man needs to feel a certain type of way to be the woman, and she makes me feel a certy type of way. And
What type of way is that?
You know what? Like the kind of way that you want to Netflix and chill. No, but she makes me feel good. She supports me in the areas I need support in, and then she builds me up when I feel low. And she knows how to give me just what I need, but she keeps it 100. And sometimes I'm like, Lord, Creole, why? And you know what? It's a delicate balance because I'm a very conservative person.
Yes,
she's a liberal like no other. And I'm gonna tell you, conservatives and liberal, I don't understand why we always tend to connect.
Yeah.
I don't know why these conservative pastors and these men like the Creole.
And I don't know why these liberal women like these guys, like, you know, these guys like me. You know what I'm saying?
Turn you up and turn you out.
Thank you. They always want to turn out a good boy. I can turn him out.
I'm gonna have you doing things you said you never do.
Never do.
Make them toes curl backwards like the ecstasy or something. No, but she tries. You know, she supports me in the areas I need support in, and you know, we try to balance each other out. It's hard. It's challenging sometimes, like any relationship. You know, I have my way, and I be trying to help her. I'm like, okay, you can't do that. You need to do this. But one thing she's a great listener when it's time to be professional and work. No matter how much I can be mad at her, or we don't have disagreements on the way to the radio station before, and nobody ever knew that we had it because she knows how to be professional when it's time to be professional, and then she knows how to, you know, be who she needs to be when it's not, you know, when we're not, you know, in that professional mode.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, so you know, y'all gotta find the person that makes you happy and stuff like that. You know, and make sure that you're willing to accept that person. And she always asks me this one question: can you accept me for who I am? Like the crazy stuff that comes out of her mouth. Can I accept her for who she is? Can I accept her for the stuff she says? Can I accept her for how she's going to be? And I say, yeah, just don't be posting nothing crazy. And then I won't have to unfriend you because I want to accept you for who you are. Right. But I don't need you on my Facebook talking crazy. But the funny thing is, she may say no, but the funny thing is that if I tell her not to post certain things on Facebook, she doesn't. Even though she tells me, "Oh, you're not in control of my Facebook," but she won't post it because I try to keep her, because I still trying to build her brand.
Yeah.
Because my job is still to build her, even where she's at. It's my job to build her, and sometimes I think I know a little bit more better in this industry or in this area of grooming professionals, better for her than she does because she's always like a raw, uncut person. And you can't always be raw, uncut when you're trying to move through these streets. Sometimes you got to kind of be laid back, professional, well preserved, and well-rounded. You got to know how to be hood when it's time to be hood. Then you got to know how to be professional when it's time to be professional.
Well, of course, but at the end of the day, people want to see real. Just like when I'm out on the red carpet, people respect the fact that, it's not scripted.
Yeah.
It's just interviewed like straight up the top of my head. It's not, oh, well, he told me to say this. I'm going to say what I feel. I want to say what I feel. I want to learn from you, need to know from you.
Yes.
And people like that. People respect that.
They do.
It's either you like me or you hate me.
Yeah.
And I'm fine either way.
Yeah.
But I'm still need to be me. Because
Right.
you have to, at the end, accept the person for who they are. Because at the end of the day, when you're in a relationship, you need to be like, okay, well, if that person doesn't change, are you okay with who they are right today?
Exactly.
Because if you're not, then it's not the right person for you.
How do you, and this was a question somebody sent me, how do you be with someone who's always on social media and whatnot, people sliding through your DMs or whatnot? How can you be with someone without that person, their significant other, feeling some type of way about these people coming at you unprofessionally? They're trying to take you out. They're trying to do that. Like, how do you handle that as a man, being with somebody who's always in a public light?
It's fun. It's funny because we went to the NAACP Image Awards, and every guy was like, "She's so fine," da, 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 da. And like it was one after another, and it's always been like that with Elizabeth. I almost have to ask myself not to ask her what happened to her that day. Like mentally, as a man, I can't ask a woman that looks like that, "How was your day? Who was hitting on you?" You know what I'm saying? I may hit her with every now and again. I'm like, "Did you get somebody's number today?" or something like that. She'd be like, "No, I ain't getting nobody's number." But I have to like be able to be reserved in my mind. And I'm gonna tell you, like, as a dude with a good, when you feel like you got the dime piece or whatever, and when you with your dude and he feel like he has a dime piece, and any guy that comes up and hug and stuff like that, it's like it makes you kind of feel some type of way as a man. But you got to be able to take the crookeds with the straights, right? You know what I'm saying? So the crookeds is when dudes come at her, they give her a long extenuated hug, or they want to kiss her on her cheek, or all that foolishness, and they don't want to take the picture properly. They want to take the picture where she's, where he has, and I used to be all like, that used to make me feel some type of way. But then I had to ask myself, who am I with?
Yeah.
What's she gonna do?
Exactly.
With the information being provided? What's she gonna do? I gotta hold her accountable.
Yes.
And then when I hold her accountable and I start saying I'm in a healthy relationship, when I'm in a healthy relationship, then I don't worry about what she's doing because I think that she's doing what she's supposed to be doing.
Right.
So I guess that you got trust.
Yeah. That makes sense. And
Trust
there's a
is
lot
big.
of people who is insecure.
That's why I tell
Right,
people
yeah.
when somebody cheats, trust is broken because that's earned.
Yes.
And then when you lose it, it goes away very quickly because it takes years to build that, but trust can take away in like seconds.
Yes.
And then once that's gone, it's
It's hard.
you second
Women is
guessing
always,
and you.
When I gotta start going through your phone book and through your emails and Facebook and checking all that stuff, then it's time to depart anyway because I don't have a lot of time and energy to be putting that much into a person anyway.
Right.
That means it's just too much drama. If I gotta do all that, then ain't the person. You gotta just move on
Yeah.
because you already know what they're doing. You guys ever watch What is that 101 on 3? The cheaters when they call the radio station.
Yep.
Every time they cheating. Like going to more. You already know she cheating or he
Lanza.
cheating. What do you guys think? This confirmation?
Right.
Wait a minute, hold up. Lanza just sent me a message on Facebook. He said he's watching the show right now. He said, "OD, child," he went crazy when that guy at the BET Awards.
Oh, Lanza, ain't that the truth?
No. First
Oh
of all,
my God!
let me set it up.
That
for
was the first strike of jealousy.
Wait a minute. First
That
of all-
was some trap.
Nuh-uh.
What happened?
No, let me set it up for the listeners.
Lanza, I'm glad you
gonna
called
let-
him out because that
You
was.
gonna let me set it
Go
up for
ahead,
the
and
listeners?
Tell
I'll
the story.
elaborate later. Yeah.
Okay, so basically we
Tell
at
the truth.
we at the B.
Shame the devil.
Yes.
Yep.
We're at the BET Awards 106 in Park. And my publicist, Lanza, he was like, I'm out, we doing media coverage at the 106 in Park.
Our
for the BET
publicist, because he's mine too. I love Lanza and
Yes, our
Eeyore.
publicist.
Shout out to Eeyore and Lanza.
The whole media team publicist. Well, anyways, we was doing PR stuff, and my goal was to get the Creole girl, to just do coverage media. Well, anyways, our publicist wanted her to meet this upcoming actor or whatever he may have been. Well, anyways, I told him no. He was like, I said no, she can't meet him, because I looked at the guy and I was like, this dude looked thirsty.
He probably looked like a wolf around a bunch of wounded sheep. Like,
man, he looked thirsty. And Lance
he was a hot mess. He was mad.
He was upset because I said, no, she can't go over there and stuff like that. So I asked, I'm like, because a lot of people don't understand that, that may have made me mad. But my thing was, I'm still her manager. On a professional side, I'm still her manager. And I just I'm trying to size this dude up. Like, dude, what you trying to...
Was that a personal?
It was a little bit of both.
Yeah,
it was a little bit paid. Because you can't judge a book by its cover. Even when I trained this, I've been in the bar industry for 20 years. Also.
A man knows when another man's trying to eye his
manager,
woman.
And I'm gonna tell you, I tell people, don't underestimate because what they have on. Because let me tell you, I've gotten the biggest tip from just regular people with a t-shirt on, some jeans, some tore up jeans, and a beat up wallet.
Right.
You can't go off presentation all the time. Right. I treat everybody like $1 million.
Everybody.
You know why? Because you don't know who you're in front of.
Right.
Lanzer said that clearly he was not the Creole type. But clearly Lanzer was not looking at it from the telescope I was looking at it from, okay? I was looking
at it. But we're never know because you hated all over that project.
All over the project.
All over.
He ain't got no project going on. He wasn't talking about money. He wasn't talking about getting paper.
You scared about you?
He wasn't talking about
her manager like that.
Nah, and then when we gave him the number, the card, we gave him the card. He didn't even use it. He didn't even call it. So I said, you was up to no good. A man knows, just like a woman knows, when.
OD thinks everybody want to talk to me. All he does is like you. I'm like, you don't.
First of all,
listen,
this is the same woman
when we was
no, hold on.
I feel some type of way also because the thing is, when he says that, I get upset. The reason is you make it seem like people only like me.
Right.
They don't want to do business. It's
First of all,
and yes, even sometime in it, like Tyrese was in my inbox, and yes, it really was. He wanted to get with me, and that's fine, which is crazy. We ended up at his house doing the Grammy, doing BET Awards. But I'm just saying, like, it can be, but like,
but first
the guy
of all,
from Tyler Perry, the police officer.
First of all,
we put him through a test. I said he failed me.
We
but
had
still,
the
not all the
same
time it's like that.
But we had the same situation. She may not admit this, but we was at the NAACP Image Awards,
and you was all in Claudia's face.
Jordan,
if that would have been me, he would have had a fit. He was jogging her. That's his little crush. He was all in her face. I left and worked the crowd because look at me.
Look at him.
I wake up to this face every day.
Look at him.
And
I ain't trying to hear what she has to say.
He sat there and was in Claudia's face like a straight up groupie.
First of all,
yes, she was.
Let me say,
she said you little crush like a groupie. Yes, she was.
What
and her little man trying to tag her away. And Odie was like,
"Can I please set this up for the listeners because they don't know?"
I'm ready.
Yeah,
so we at the after party for the NAACP Image Awards. And you know Claudia Jordan.
Because when I see Denzel, I'll be all in his face. Trust me. But go ahead.
Ooh, okay. This show is getting really personal. But let me tell you what happened at the NAACP Image Awards. First of all, we was there. We was going to the after party. Yes. Claudia Jordan was at the after party. I said, Creole, I need to, I wanted to, connect with Claudia or whatever. So I started talking to Claudia. And we talking for a minute. She all up in the mix, you know what I'm saying? Like doing her little hate thing or whatever. Like, give me some room. Like, I'm trying to
sit next to you. And y'all kept talking. I said, well, bye, OD, because let me tell you.
No, you didn't have to say bye.
They wasn't following behind Claudia Davis. Claudia Jordan at the Image Awards, they was following behind me, and that's a fact, and you know that.
But
I'm not tripping.
But don't get mad if Claudia Jordan wanted to talk to me.
I'm not that, but you
was acting all weird and different. No, but you was acting weird and different.
Because if that was me, you would have. Oh, why are you giving me so much attention?
It's always you though. It's always you. That always be your case.
It's okay. That's your little crutch. It's okay. It's okay. I am not tripping on Claudia Jordan. Please know that, you guys.
It's okay.
Let's get a double back-to-back shot of Claudia in Creole Girl. Make your choice.
It's
Come
okay.
on. No, it's not. I can't stand y'all. That's not what it was. She trying to make it seem like, oh, I was just this. No, just like a man knows about a woman knows about a man. And in that case, that was Creole doing the same thing that I did to her at the
so you
BET.
admitting?
Nuh-uh.
No, you was complete. I didn't pull you away and say, you ain't talking to her. I'm allowed you to talk to her as long as you want to.
No, you
Walk
didn't.
away.
No, she didn't.
You a lie.
No, she didn't.
But you
No,
know,
no,
as
she
a man,
didn't.
he's
This is
gonna
behind the
be
story.
protective. Like I see it and it shut
But
it down.
was when I left him and Claudia in their conversation, he felt some type of way. I was like, okay, bye. And I wouldn't work the room. Then he eventually came because he's like, okay, well, she might be feeling some type of way.
You felt the wrath. She didn't give you no
Then you
pre-notion.
just felt-
She
I
just
just
let
walked
you
off.
go
I
on
said
and
bye.
do what
Well,
you do.
she felt the wrath at the BET at the 106
Yeah, that was
Park.
loud.
She did.
That
And
man
was the
heard
case.
you. No, you ain't going
We
over
even.
there.
What inning one?
Y'all are too much. This is professionals uncensored.
Yes.
But the funny thing is that the funny thing is you know I'm okay with Creole being the star. That's the thing. I've never been the type of guy that's not okay with my woman being the lead, being the face, you know, doing what she needs to do, connecting with. Yeah, I don't mind her being the spotlight. What I try to do is just simply say, watch out for this, and this. And people try to make it like it's about jealousy. It's not about jealousy. I don't have to be jealous of what I have. And if I didn't want it, I didn't have to have it because, like she said, it's a choice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can choose to be with the woman, or I can choose to be jealous and wrathful and envy, and that's not going to do nothing. That's not going to produce good fruits in a relationship.
Exactly.
So I choose to be with Creole. Creole chooses to be with me, and so that means if guys talk to her crazy, I don't always need to step up and say it. But if I feel that energy, I'm gonna tell her that nah, you got to back away from that. You know what I'm saying? And she has to respect that boundary. And that's what it is in a relationship. It's about respect. And it doesn't mean that it's like that all the time. And Lance was saying that, oh, I was upset. I wasn't upset.
Lance, you know the truth.
I was
You
not
was
You
upset.
like Lance,
I
me
can
and
see
you know
you
the
in
They
there.
truth.
probably
so
could
I-
turn up on
I
somebody
wasn't.
and you not
No.
expect it.
Listen,
What's so funny? His little female friend, well, you know, Creole girl, she'll cut. I'm like, why do you think that? But you know, she'll cut you.
Z. She always talk about Creole cutting somebody. Now believe it or not, Creole is overprotective of me. I ain't gonna lie. I did not just go off. That's Lance. He sent us a message.
He did go off Lance. Me and you know Lance. We know the real deal. Me, you, and Eeyore.
But believe it or not, Creole is overprotective. Like, if she see me too close, if I'm getting too close to a woman doing all this stuff, she be looking at me and she'll say something to me.
I give you a look.
No, yeah.
I see
Hey,
you.
And
You
then-
see
I
me
see
see
you.
you.
Yeah, I see you. You
You
see
know I
me.
took note of that, right?
She's overprotective of me, and that's okay.
When
She
it
can
comes to
protect
people
me.
discerning your name, I'm not really worried about women.
You're not.
I'm worried about it's more if you're gonna disrespect or I hate when people be in his face and talk crap behind his back. The same thing, even if you like you, no one's gonna come in my face and say, "Well, honey, da 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 da," because I'm gonna stop you, I'm gonna check you, redirect you, and then I'm gonna tell you who said it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think
Then I'm
but
gonna tell you who said it and say, "Get him out your circle," because they not about nothing.
Exactly.
I don't know. Jealousy can't live in a relationship, but I don't think like with Creole, I just try to be a good dude, like a good person. And the person that you with, you got to try to pick a good person. And I know, like, she got her man fan. I know that we can walk around Arizona and she find her Instagram friends be all like, oh, can I get a picture with her? Or they stopping us in the middle of breakfast. Are you such and such? Like, really? That's what they do to us all the time. But they do that to me, too. You know, I got my fair share of fans, too.
Yes, you do.
Shoot, I got my fans.
When them, listen, when them church women in the inbox talking about I need to have sex with you, the pastor's
What?
daughter, yeah.
Why
That's
stop
in
bringing up the church?
Pause.
I'm just being
Pause.
honest.
Stay off the church.
I'm just being honest. That's all I'm saying. Like
people-
I say, I will stick to my
believe
my slogan. Like I always say, the biggest hoes wear the longest skirts.
Nah,
and what that
that's
means,
not true.
No, but what that look, well, yes, it
I'm
does.
like,
but no,
ooh.
what it means is
They lift them
They-
up.
They trying to cover
but
up
what
that
it-
lifestyle.
But what
for
it
real.
means is just because a girl works if she's in nightlife or she's at the desk all day, doesn't mean either or is better. Because I know girls who's never been to a strip club, who's never done a lot of stuff, don't drink, don't smoke, but yet they have sex with whole Cardinals, whole Sun team, sucking everybody's penis, doing this and doing it. And all I'm saying is, girls like me, like us, we're more liberal. I'm put on a mini skirt, and that's okay.
Yeah.
I might wear a half top. I might have my back out. I might have some cleavage out. So what?
But you know what you do.
Doesn't mean I'm a hoe. You gonna get it?
Yeah.
Because I don't do one night stands. Can't nobody in Arizona say they didn't have this. I don't run around like that. But people get it confused because they figure, well, she's a liberal, she's the whore, and she's a conservative, and that's not true.
Not
so
at
all
all.
I'm saying, because a girl present herself in that way, doesn't mean that's really who she is.
Right, exactly. That's absolutely right. I want to know y'all take on Mariah Carey's New Year's Eve performance. Being that y'all in broadcasting media and everything, like how do you feel about that?
What, Mariah Carey performance? I don't. Well, the sound messed up on her performance, and she was found not singing with the performance.
But like this, but I agree. It was trap and it was crazy. But she said they did a sound check, or they wouldn't allow her to. And it showed a video of them doing a sound check.
Okay.
So she's not sure what happened because it worked when they did the sound check.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden it didn't. Maybe it was either a setup. But let's be honest though. All celebrities lip sync at some point. It's cold out there.
Right.
But I'm gonna tell you this: we all know Mariah Carey can blow.
We know that. Yes, we do.
So at the end of the day, I know she can blow. It's not like we know that we have only heard her sing, with music. We know that Mariah Carey can blow. We know that. We know nobody hits a C note like Mariah Carey still to this day, and she almost 50 years old.
Do you think she still got it?
Absolutely. And she look good. I mean, people saying now, she wears this and this and that, but J-Lo does too.
Yeah.
And they're about the same age, so no one's talking about J-Lo. While we keep talking about Mariah Carey, I love Mariah Carey from Virgin, what is it called? I Had a Vision of Love. She's been around for a long time.
She has. So explain to me what exactly happens. So, you have an earpiece in your ear. The earpiece.
So you can hear your own self.
So you can hear your own
You have
self.
to always.
The music is going, so everybody in the crowd, everybody can hear.
Because you
music.
can't even hear.
Yeah.
You listen only to yourself.
So if your earpiece went out, you didn't do a sound check or whatever, you remove it. Can you like move it right?
Remove it. Well, she should have just removed it and start singing because Mariah Carey can sing.
That's what I'm saying. So
just
why
remove it
did
instead
she
of-
not?
Because probably they
Caught her off guard, just kind of like.
Well, not really off guard, but more so just the fact that she wanted to. I think more so it was. I'm not interested in singing with all my vocals today. You know what I'm saying? And so I needed this because that was my ideal perform. You know what I'm saying? And so with
at
that
-0 weather.
yeah, and there's no way you can't sing and talk. You can't even talk outside when it's too cold because then your vocals and everything get messed up.
Don't be raspy.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is she, everybody was on cue except for her. So if you got all your dancers, they can hear the music. She's saying she couldn't hear. So when you got your earpiece in,
she could have been like a diva. She could have been doing a diva.
Exactly.
Diva
She
move.
is a diva. They say she's a diva. So
because she
that's
could
a
be like,
diva
no,
move.
it ain't right.
And
so I'm off. I don't care.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm
Because
not
she
going to
feels, I'm Mariah Carey. I don't care. That's how she feels. Because
Well,
she's a
she's
diva.
getting paid
And
anyways.
she acts like that. She don't get paid anyway at the end of the day. She don't go to
She
the
could
bank.
sabotage her own show. I think that could have been
She
in
could have
a
been.
little
Publicity, they do
sabotage.
things for media.
You know what I'm
She still got
saying?
the media because we was
Because she
talking
was saying
about it.
that, the Dick Clark production, they was trying to sabotage her.
Yeah.
With her not being able to hear. And I'm like, you sabotage yourself because it's something that I feel like it's something you should have done. Besides say, well, we didn't rehearse this. Like,
If you
really?
mess up, just keep it going.
Then
Honey, if that would have been me, I would have took that earpiece off and just, I'm so emotional. And just kept it moving.
That's what I
That's what I would have
understand.
did.
So do you think she just didn't care? She
Just didn't care.
Absolute diva moment.
Yeah, diva moment. Because she got to have certain things in her, in her wing and her trailer. That's just how she is. But, I mean, to be honest with you, she Mariah Carey, and I guess, just damn it, I'm a diva. And it's just what it is.
I don't think I know she can sing. I still feel like she can sing. But as far as these performances and whatnot, it's been a fail.
A lot of her
I feel
most
like
recent performances.
I feel like maybe you...
Energy just getting down. Like Celine Dion. Celine Dion is a singer. She's not a performer. And the reason why Beyonce is, and I love, that's my girl. Shout out, I love Beyonce. That's that Creole girl. I love Beyonce. Beyonce is a singer and a performer. Now, is there other people that's better
she don't
singers than
sing.
Beyonce? Absolutely.
Yeah.
She don't
But the thing
always
is,
sing when she
people-
performs.
She don't,
Right.
she's a performer.
Yes.
People like seeing her move, shake that booty, bubble butt, and all that kind of stuff. She's a performer. Let's take Britney Spears. She can't sing worth nothing.
Right.
Nope. But she's a performer only because she cannot sing.
Right.
I've heard Britney Spears. She sucks, and her sister sucks too. You know, remember her sister Mike went out, and her voice was ratchet.
Yeah.
Oh, well, no, that was something Simpson. That was Simpson's little sister.
Yeah, Jessica Simpson.
Yeah, little sister. Yeah, I mean, come on. Like,
there's
can't
nothing
sing.
wrong with lip singing. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. Why we make a big deal? Like Vanilla Ice. They was like, oh, he lip sing and stuff. No, Milli Vanilli. That's who it was. Milli Vanilli. They had the voice. One person had the voice. They had the lip. What's wrong with that?
I don't think anything's wrong with it.
You know what I'm saying?
When people come
I like real singing. Like
I do too.
Jennifer Hudson. I'm so sad. Jennifer Hudson really can sing, but I'm gonna tell you why she's not as successful as she should be. Is because they want Hollywood wants a certain look.
Yeah.
Because that girl can sing. Fantasia.
Can
I
blow.
love Fantasia.
I like
yeah.
But she will never get to what she needs to be because we're so stuck on what that look needs to be. Just like when she almost committed suicide about she's dating a married man she's dating a married man that was literally separated. And I'm not saying dating a married man, but what I am saying, Alicia Keys dated a married man too.
Yeah.
Swiss Beats was a married man
Yes, he
that
was.
just had a baby that you was having sex with, and people tend to forget that because Alicia Keys is light skinned and pretty. So now we got Fantasia doing the same thing.
Well, no. They gave Alicia Keys flack over
But
that.
not like Fantasia though. They didn't give
and they also
drug
gave
Fantasia.
Fantasia.
They drug her through
they
the
gave
dirt.
Fantasia slack because she had a reality show fronting it out too.
Yeah.
They got to remember
they
that.
dragged her through the mud. We kind of, but I'm gonna tell
Fantasia
you, Marshita put Alicia Keys on blast. So she tweeted and said, "You was with a married man. He was still married to me, and we just had our third baby."
And Dwayne Wade too, right?
Oh my God!
They was broke up.
Oh,
They
my
was
bad.
broke up.
We was on break, but I had a baby on the summertime.
nothing
Boy,
wrong.
bye.
Is that cheating when you break up with someone and they go be with someone else and then you come back to that person?
Boy.
That can't be cheating.
Well, I don't think it's cheating, but
it is.
yeah,
You
it's
was
like-
doing something else.
You already had that
Absolutely.
manifesting. You already was catering to that. Feeding that energy. And
Mentally, you already
Because
did it.
cheating builds up.
You did it mentally.
No, wait, hold up.
Text messages,
This is some
dates,
trap stuff.
It builds up.
You always
This is
cheating
trap.
builds up.
This whole conversation is trap because
Having a side piece builds up.
Yeah.
first
it
of all,
does.
how you gonna have three women in the room? We got three women in the room that's saying that if you break up with me and I decide to be with someone else and I find out months later you pregnant, how does that have to do with us getting back together?
I'm not
That's
saying
not
you're
right.
cheating. What I'm saying is, if we break up, you get somebody pregnant, I'm not dealing with you anymore.
Yeah, but
That's
the
all
thing
I'm
is,
saying.
he found
I'm
out
not saying
later
you
on.
cheating.
He found out later on.
Let me tell you something.
How long is
fellas.
later? How long is later
I
on?
think it was
Listen,
like
ladies,
a
when
couple
your man
months,
has
2
sex
months.
that you broke up with without a condom, he might get somebody pregnant.
And you shouldn't break up with them because you're in your emotional self.
Oh boy, please.
Oh boy, stop.
Thank you.
Anyway,
Next topic.
This is a trap. Look at
Right? This is a
moving
trap.
right along.
I'm just
with your
saying.
conservative trap.
Trap self. You said it right.
So y'all know Vivica Fox got the Black Magic show. She got the guys. Have you watched that?
I watched one time.
I haven't watched it, but I heard all about it. How you feel about men thrusting all over you like that?
Exactly. My girlfriend said that. She said, how can a person have unprotected sex with a person so soon and so quick?
Exactly, because you
just
already
breaking-
been,
quick.
you already was
entertaining
raw.
it.
You was
Listen.
already raw balling it anyway.
Exactly.
We already discussed on the early part of the show. The early part of the show said that sex is a mental. There's a stimulation that
Without
happens
a condom,
mentally.
you going in raw like that?
It could have buzzed.
No, it didn't.
You
You
could've
put all
buzzed.
up in
Because come
there
to find it, that
on
was our
purpose.
Thank you.
You just
Thank you.
busted.
Because she can't
You
give you no
didn't do
babies.
that on
Because she
purpose.
can't give you no babies. Hashtag
That's not why he did it.
Hashtag that.
And Gabrielle
If we
Union.
break up, I don't have to be governed by the rules of the relationship. When I break up, we broke up, and I get my own new rules. Who said that the rules of the old has to be the rules of the new?
I'm just saying my rules
who
are.
who lives by yesterday rules when you break up? You know what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying, but if you got somebody pregnant after y'all done just broke up
Thank
last
you.
week, you already been dealing with that. You know what I'm saying? You
Last
just
week.
don't meet nobody within a week or even a month or 2 months and
Thank
say,
you.
hey, I want to have sex with
So you
and have a baby. And have a baby.
Right. It's like
So
you've
how
been
long-
had that in the works.
First of all-
You've been had that
first of
going
She's
all-
on.
already your side piece.
Yeah.
Boom.
First
you probably
of all,
been smashing.
You was real comfortable
Thank
over
you.
there.
Real comfortable.
baby.
See, look, first of all, that's not true because there's already people thirsting after all you women in here before you even break up. So what if y'all did
that don't
it?
mean
I'm
I'm
not
just
going
gonna
in
jump
raw
with you.
either.
Exactly. I'm not going
I
to
need you to have on a couple hats.
If you having a bad
A couple
situation, if you have a bad situation, you may and you break up with your guy, and as a lot of the women do, they be crying on Facebook.
And I'm not going to be having unprotected sex. Is all I'm saying.
That's all we're
broke up.
saying. We're not going to be
If-
having unprotected
Thank
sex.
you.
so you can have sex after
If
you
I have
break up.
Rita-
You can have sex, but you
Yeah.
gotta be
You break
careful.
up.
How you
Thank you.
just raw dogging somebody you just met?
Just met.
Supposedly.
Just met supposedly.
See, let me tell you something. The women can be very scandalous.
It just
How
happened.
many
It
fellas
just
done dealt
happened.
with some scandalous
Oh my
women?
God, I was
where
drunk.
they actually.
That's not an excuse.
I was drunk.
I
No.
was
But you
drunk.
remembered it, right? So
I
you
was
could've remembered
drunk.
to wrap
No,
it up.
no.
I forgot to pour in my condom.
No, the woman actually
didn't
slid the
forget, you
condom
just didn't
off
care.
and
Oh,
put
you
it
poked
in.
the hole in
You
it.
should have been messing with
Thank
her
you.
in the first
In
place.
the first place.
You need to
Girl,
get yourself
She
together.
was
Get your life.
causing the
Get
You
your
distraction.
life
mess around
together.
and get the
If
gift
you
that
just
keeps
wanted-
on giving.
If
Yeah.
you would have just
Listen,
wanted sex,
I
you
know
should
what
have went back
y'all-
to Gabrielle. You just had
Listen.
sex with her. Like, we
Exactly.
together, but me to screw you.
What-
So I don't understand
this
that.
And
what-
women do that all the time.
And like,
what-
yep.
Let me tell you, this is what happened in the bedroom.
Rewind.
The woman was having intimacy with Dwayne Wade. She was causing her stuff to extract, and you know how y'all can do that thing on the inside where y'all was.
Kegels.
She was slowly
Kegels,
pulling. She was slowly pulling the condom off. Girl, hit it from the back. Hit it from the back. And so she knew how to move her body part the proper way. Moved her butt up
Yeah,
and lubed
right.
it down to
You
the
really
left.
thought about this, huh?
And she was hitting it, and then all of a sudden, the
Let me
condom
tell you
slipped off.
something.
It's
A
like,
man
don't worry
knows
about that.
when he don't have a condom on
A man don't know
versus having one.
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
you
You
absolutely
definitely know.
know.
You
When
absolutely
That's
when
know.
a
it's
way
warm-
different feeling, honey.
When it's warm everywhere, you don't know you in la la land.
Yeah,
you like,
right.
oh, the heaven is about to open up. It's about to
Bye,
open up.
Felicia. Bye,
Yourself if you want to.
You know that a man's supposed to retract that. How can a man can't retract
Shout out to
that?
Isaiah.
That sperm count.
Poke a
Can't
hole in it,
retract.
please.
She did. That's what women be doing.
I
They-
ain't buying that. That was
Women
already
do that.
Well, come to find out, that was a girl. I'm gonna tell you the real story. Come to find out, shut you down, O.D. Harris. It was a girl he had already been dealing with previously in the past. Hello.
That's
Yeah.
why I
She
said,
wasn't a
That's
newbie.
why I said
That's
that
why he felt so
this-
comfortable raw backing it.
This
Yeah.
is why I said, and I said this to Creole. We had a full conversation about it. If you're in a relationship with someone, if you had intimate feelings with your ex or any exes, they should not be currently in your life with your new person. I do not believe that if I was dating a chick, hanging out with her, hitting it and stuff like that, and I get
But
in a
if
new
you haven't had
relationship-
sex with that person, I think it should be okay. If that
No,
person not
if you had
disrespecting you,
intimate-
because there is
anything,
guys, there is
kissing,
girls.
touching,
I disagree.
anything like that,
I
it should not
disagree.
be in your mix right now.
Okay, let me
I
make sure I'm
disagree.
understanding. Maybe let me make sure. So
Yep, I
anybody that
understood it.
you've had sexual intercourse, kissing,
I
any
disagree.
type of connection with,
I can see
Not
sex, but
any
not just
type
a
of
kiss or
connection,
just something
a
like
certain
that.
type of a connection.
a certain type of connection, you should not be dealing with them.
Absolutely.
As friendships is off the table. You're telling me?
Absolutely, yeah. No, friendships is on the table. Like Creole can have as many friends as she wants. Okay, or I can have, or the people that's listening, you can have as many friends as you want.
Yeah.
But when you are in a relationship with me and you have your ex-girlfriend or, your ex in a relationship while you
my
with me, that
bartender,
you don't
she
have,
listen.
wait a minute, hold up.
Go
If you
ahead.
don't had sex with her or you done kissed all on her, then she should not be actively in your life.
Even if it was like 10 years ago.
Even if it was 10 years ago. I just don't believe.
I
Like you
disagree.
just said, we just used the example of Dwayne Wade. He went back and cheated with his ex. And this is why I say that sometimes it's just like anything else. There's a certain thing that triggers, and then all of a sudden you're back at it again. And that's why I
But
said...
the person has to control that.
Exactly.
OD.
The person
That's
has
me.
to
I'm in
it.
control.
Just
Whatever
because
goes on,
exactly.
ain't nothing gonna happen. That's all allowed to happen. Straight
Exactly.
up.
No,
That is real talk.
you know what the thing is that at the end of the day, if you're going to be in a relationship with someone, why do you you still got to be friends with your ex that you was just boning?
Well,
Why you still got to be friends with that person?
Listen. One of my girlfriends. We talked about the same thing last night. She's been in a relationship for like 4 years. They live together. They're getting ready to get married. All that. She's still friends with her ex-boyfriend from 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Like he may help make the anniversary gift that she gave to her new boyfriend. She said he's
That's some
married.
trap
he's
stuff.
done. We
No,
married.
That's trap.
I'm the same way.
But you know what? Men don't like that. Men are it's
they're
already
insecure.
off because and it's
It's
probably
insecure.
Yeah.
You got
no.
misunderstood
and in a
your
man's
man.
mind, you laughing and you having it,
We
you
are
know,
not insecure.
It's insecure.
It is. It's a level of insecurity.
Because O.D. Harris, you got women you friends with right now that you ain't never done anything with, but you know they like you.
Yeah.
So they off
And you
limits.
entertaining
And
it.
I'm not gonna say no names. You know what I'm talking about. There are girls that you deal with.
She said, I ain't gonna say no
There are girls
names.
that you deal with right now that like O.D., that used to like O.D., that lied and stay was with O.D. and was not.
Okay. So
Exactly.
You still
And he don't want me to
talking
say
about
her name.
What's the difference then in
Okay.
a case like that?
So look,
Thank you.
at the end of the day, first of all, I can't stop people from liking me, and you can't stop people from liking you.
Right.
But you can control the behavior on which what happens. Okay. So I think my personal feeling got nothing to do with jealousy or anything like that. If you had an intimate connection, meaning you had sex with that person or you kissed that person or there's something intimate on that level happen, then there's a problem. Now, if someone said, "Oh, I like you," you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm in Amanda's inbox because I like her, I'm into her or whatever.
We know.
You know what I'm saying? And nothing ever happened, and she may be saying, "Well, it's hard to be platonic, right? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to have platonic.
No, it's
not really.
If you set your boundaries, it's not.
No, it's not.
Okay,
No,
well,
That person is
For
only
a man,
gonna
it
go
might
as
be.
far as
It's
you
not.
let them.
but that's what I'm saying. Like,
I
if you
got
go
a
back
woman
and,
right now just got married. Now I've been friends with him literally 13 years. His wife said, "The Creole girl is too pretty. You can't have any pretty friend." But he broke it down to her and said, "No, she's like my sister. That's like my family. She ain't going there. She the one I'm not letting go.
Right.
So she's okay now." But I'm like, who tells a husband you can't have any pretty friends?
That's
you
stupid.
That's the wrong person to be married to. You got way too many insecurities.
That's
Way too
insecure.
many.
You gonna mess
That's
around and get cut for the wrong
Absolutely.
thing.
That's trap.
Be like, girl, he just messed around and tried to kill me. Be like, why? Because my friend look good. Like, you know,
That's
you can't.
crazy.
No.
That's weird.
You can't. She's too pretty. You can't have her as your friend because she's too pretty. Then you wasn't ready. You wasn't ready for marriage.
See, you know
But
what this
that's like having a man who you bring a friend around or whatever.
Absolutely. 'Cause
You
I
like
got
them type
guy
of dudes,
friends
and it'd be like, what are you
that I
talking
haven't done
about?
even anything with. Now, I'm not saying they don't probably like me mentally, but
Right.
as long as you haven't crossed those boundaries, you're not saying anything disrespectful about my man.
Yeah.
You're not hitting on me, touching on me. I'm not gonna stop being your friend because I think you may like me.
Right.
See that brings up the next question: is it okay to be friends with someone that you know absolutely like you?
I feel like you can be friends with them, but you have to
Don't
control the
entertain
situation.
them.
Absolutely.
If you're they texting you good morning, OD.
You know, but the thing is,
First of all, you trying it.
Yeah.
You trying it.
Yeah.
Because as soon as y'all may have an argument, you gonna jump in. Good morning. How's your day? You are entertaining it now. You opening the door to something else, and it can go other places.
And that's why I said that if you're gonna play with Pandora box, if you're gonna play around Pandora box, then you need to ask yourself: do I really want to be with? If I know this person likes me, then should I really be dealing with this person like this? And that's my biggest thing.
I
You
think
can
that's
deal with
a
'em.
totally
Don't
personal.
nobody even like OD.
I think that is
crazy.
that's a personal decision that each person has to make. Like, am I strong enough to have these type of friends? If you know you're not that person that's not strong enough to handle it, then don't even be that person. But if you're like, I'm confident in who I am and what I have, that shit don't faze me. Then yeah, because you are that person that can handle it. But you got to know who you are.
But is it really about confidence, or is it really just the boundary that you don't want to have? I choose, like in my relationship, I choose not to allow that to be okay. Now, in your relationship, you may choose to say that that's okay. But to me, I don't think it does not show that I'm insecure. I don't think that it shows that I'm not there. It's just my boundary that I choose not to have. If my girl choose to be her friends with her person who she don't have intimate relationships with. Now, I'm not saying about the liking part.
We're talking about.
I'm talking about sex. I'm talking about sex.
Oh no, but you even said intimate where he was
Kissing.
No, I'm talking. That's what I'm talking about.
But
Sex.
see, I know you're talking about because I have a friend that we're not together. We never did anything, but it's like we did kiss in the past. But when I do communicate with, it's not like on a regular basis.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, I need you to do this for me. Hey, put this girl on the list. You know, something like that. It's not like where it's a consistent talk.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. I'm going to keep my connection where I need him to be at a certain
Yes.
time, and everybody's in a certain place. And at the end of the day, you need to respect, like with your taxes. When you got people who came into your office buck naked, with a trench coat on.
Yeah.
What?
You're going to still do her taxes,
That
though.
was a long time ago.
So I don't want to hear that because you're going to
I
still
was
do her
married
taxes.
with somebody else.
But you're going to still do her taxes, though. You understand
Actually,
what I'm
I
saying?
don't. Actually, she's not a part of my clients anymore.
But the point is, though,
But that's not why.
They're paying you.
Right.
Yes.
That's not why,
That's
because of the
such a
trench
mess.
coat
That's not
situation.
why. Absolutely.
Actually, that has something to do with it. But I had to be
Oh,
very.
bye,
I had
OD.
to. No,
Double
I had to.
standards.
No, because
It's
I have
double
to be
standards
respectful.
all
It's double
the
standard
time.
all day because let me tell you something. That's double
Look,
standard.
at the end of the day, you know,
No,
if
trap.
you choose to be with
Trap.
someone, it ain't trap.
Trap.
Y'all in this word trap.
Look, if you choose to be with
Because
someone,
there was a young lady that in a
if
situation
you-
that betrayed
My
me
bad.
and talked crap about me.
And there was nothing that happened.
But no, so what though? But you still was, listen, let me ask everybody's opinion on this and Facebook. So if you're
Elizabeth,
with,
are you going to go there?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're with-
All right.
Uh-oh.
You go there.
Yeah.
You go there.
And you
We're
can't
going to have
say-
problems. You go there.
as
Come on.
I said,
All right.
if
She's
there's
going
a
there.
girl- If there's a girl that says something,
going there, y'all.
about somebody, and you still deal with that person, knowing they hating, and you don't stop dealing until they hate on you and cause some. What you think about that?
Well, first of all,
And you knew they liked you.
first of all,
Double standards.
no,
Trap.
it
Trap.
ain't.
Yes.
Double men are double standards. Even if you
Trap.
first one, they're
Yep.
double standards.
No, first of all, I think you got to set your boundaries in your relationship.
Look,
You got to
now
set
he's
your
talking about
boundaries.
saying
So
You
irritating.
set your,
Yeah,
boundaries. You
nothing to
set
do
your
with nothing.
boundaries in your relationship, and you choose to say what you're willing to accept, what you're not willing to accept. I choose not to be with a person that wants to deal. If they want to deal with their ex, if they don't have intimate connections with, then that's their decision. Then I have to make that decision based on what I want to do, because it's not no longer about. It's about respecting each other. And you ought to have it may be crazy for me to say, oh, I don't want Elizabeth running out the door. That bothers me, aggravates me, and stuff like that, right? Sounds dumb. You know, you get on radio and social media and it's like, that sounds dumb. Why does that bother you so much? But if I'm in a relationship with this person, then I set the boundaries. And there's a lot of relationships out here that people set boundaries and standards in. And it does not mean that everyone has to agree with it. You don't have to agree with the boundary. You don't have to agree with the standard. But you should also recognize that if I'm in a relationship and I want to see this relationship go forward, then I'm going to respect whatever that boundary is.
But listen,
It's not about public opinion.
But you got girls that won't talk to like they're doing those boundaries to say. But listen, you got girls who will not talk to none of their exes, do any. They'll be the ones who cheat on you.
Yep. They won't talk to no friends.
Those are the ones that be like little snakes.
And that's because they feel so restricted because you got too many boundaries.
Well,
I got
I'm
too
being
many
open,
rules.
like, okay, it is what it is.
I don't think that there's a such thing as too many.
Don't do assumptions.
I don't think there's a such thing as too many boundaries. What I believe
Yes,
is
it is.
There's too many.
okay. Well, then
Because then
okay.
you
If you said-
don't allow
You
her
don't
to
trust
be
her.
the person that she wants to be,
A
that the
social
person that she
that's
is.
That's what she is.
You
But
don't
this is-
wholeheartedly trust her if that's the case.
Absolutely.
Well, it's
because a woman cannot cheat and a man can't cheat. Like girls just say, "Oh, my man going to the strip club. I don't want him getting lap dance. I don't want him going to the club. I don't want him drinking." Listen, a man can cheat on you at Fry's,
Yeah.
at
Right.
Walmart, anywhere.
But this
You
is
can
the
do
thing.
anything.
It's not. No,
You're
it's
not
not.
doing nothing that's gonna stop him from cheating. Or her
But it's
cheating.
not. It's not
You
about. It's
control
not
that.
about that. It's not about that. It's not about a person trusting. It's not about a person saying that this person's going to cheat. Do I think that Elizabeth would cheat on me? Absolutely not. You know what I'm saying? But what it is about us having an understanding about what that boundary is in that relationship. And my boundary in my relation, my final things that I may not be able to put up with, you may be able to put up with. Like for instance, if you was dating a man, he was going to the strip club every single day, and he's spending $1,000 every single day. You may not like that, but the next woman may say, it's okay. I'll let my man go to the strip club every single day. He coming home to me. He's taking care of me,
But
and
guess
that's
what?
all I'm
that
saying.
ain't the man for you. Then
But
don't get a man go to church every 5 minutes.
No,
Right.
but this is my thing. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm
What
saying
works
is
for you
that
doesn't
what
work for
works.
everybody.
Yeah, you got to
Absolutely.
be secure and confident about what happens in your relationship. Now, if Creole decides to do things that I'm saying on air that disrespects what my boundary is, then me and Creole need to step away from that situation, and I'm mature enough to let people go because at the end of the day, they want to do that. And you got to let people be who they are. But it doesn't mean you got to put up with it.
Right.
Doesn't mean that you're insecure or jealous. And it doesn't even mean that person even cheated on you. But people break up not always for cheating. They may break up because you broke enough boundary rules and finally I'm done.
So then we have to look at why these boundaries are put into place, right? So if it's something
they're not set boundaries, they're hidden. They're not. They're untalked about boundaries. Like for instance, Creole always talk about if a man cheats on me, I'm gonna break up with him, right?
Yeah, but you're cheating. That's
no. Listen, no. It's not no different. She always says that. Why? Because that's the number one thing in her mind. Yeah. Somebody else may say, well, if my man doesn't work, then that's the number one thing that I can't deal with. So it doesn't really matter. There are hidden boundaries that we set by the things that we set, by our tones and stuff like that. So I know she don't have to tell me, OD, if you cheat, I'm going to be done with you. You know what I'm saying? Because she's already made proclamation and declaration to everybody that this is a boundary. And if I go cheat on her, then that's a boundary. But then you may get Monique, who says, well, I have an open relationship with my husband, the celebrity Monique. But I have an open, hold up. I have an open relationship with my husband, and it's okay if he's sleeping around with other women. So at the end of the day, cheating is not the end all be all. It's just the end all be all for you. But and my end all be all may be you connecting with your exes, and you're not supposed to if you had an intimate relationship. And that's just what it is.
But listen,
I understand that.
But listen, that's why that's why you get equally up with the right purpose.
Yeah.
If you got like a strip club guy, you got to get him a strip club girl.
Yeah.
If you got a club guy, get a club. So that way people, they are okay.
Yeah.
Because then that way there is no arguments.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think that at the end of the day, every relationship, that's why I said the boundary, every relationship has to work for you. And you have to say, what are you willing to put up with? Exactly. And I have to disagree with Amanda. It's not about being insecure. It is about simply being what you're willing to put up with. Whatever you want it to be, you need to let that be. And it doesn't have nothing to do with insecurity, but I can understand where the root of that could come from.
Insecurity.
You know what I'm saying?
Because it happened to you before, and I don't want to see it happen again.
Absolutely. Right. And so that's why I said there's certain things that I'm willing to accept, and there's certain things I'm not willing to accept. Right. You know what I'm saying?
At what point do you voice it and say, this is what I'm not willing to put up with?
I think
are you going to say it before it even happens? Yeah. Is that okay?
I think that in relationship it's really hard. Like if I was dating a new, let's say me and Creole broke up and I was dating Honey or you, and we go into the relationship, I may not be able to sit down and say, okay, this is what my do's and don'ts. You don't have a conversation like that. No. What you do is you show what it is. Like for instance, me, if I've been in an intimate relationship with a woman, I don't talk to her. Like, I don't spend time talking to her
what's
because...
intimate to you? Sex or kissing?
I just described what it was. Listeners, y'all got to go back and watch the replay. Okay? I've already described to you what an intimate relationship...
Like the person, it's intimate power.
I already described what an intimate relationship is. All I'm saying is this. At the end of the day, if you're going to get into a new relationship, it's not about sitting down setting rules, because I don't believe that. I just believe that there should be hidden boundaries, and you should pay attention to what's a do and what's a don't. Elizabeth like gifts. So that's something that she don't have to tell me. I just got to know in my head when I have the opportunity to give her a gift, give her a gift. Yeah. That's her love language. It has nothing to do with anything else. Yeah. And then if I cheat on her, then I know that that's a rule that she doesn't put up with that kind of stuff. And she finds out, then we're done. But then also she got to look at what are my parameters. And it shouldn't be like okay, we need to sit down. No, it's like you do something, you cross the line, we get into an argument, we go back and recap the argument. After we're calmed down, we say, you crossed the line when you did this, and this, and this. And then it's up to that person to decide, do I still want to be in a relationship? And if I don't choose you after we get done having the conversation because I do it again, it's okay too.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to know your own worth. And that's why I'm standing here and I'm able to say, if you don't do what I asked you to do, then that's fine. You can move on. I'm going to move on, and you move on, you be okay. And so Creole doesn't do what I asked her to do, then I move on. It doesn't mean she's a bad person. It just means that she's not the person for me. And if I do something to break her trust or whatever it may be to violate her, she can move on. Don't mean OD's a bad person. It just means that we can't rock with each other in that capacity.
Yeah. Boom.
You know?
I understand.
There you have it.
Pick who you need to be with. And then when you pick who you be with, then you don't got to worry about if the relationship is sour or bad, because you already said. Now, I already said what my parameters are.
Yeah.
And she already said what her parameters are on air. And I said, oh, you going to go there? That's where we go. So y'all already heard it first, right here. Yeah. So if y'all hear any of these rules being broken in our relationship, you know we ain't got no relationship. I love y'all. No, but I love Creole a lot. And I think that we have a long future together. And she's the only girl I'm rocking with right now. And
better be.
And you better not be bored.
She's the only girl I'm rocking with.
You bored?
I just got a news flash.
Oh, Pete, you bored? Right.
No, I'm rocking with her, and she know what's up. But we have our disagreements. But when we have our disagreements, we're able to come together, talk, have a healthy relationship because we're talking about our disagreements. But look, I'm in the entertainment industry. that means I'm going to connect with a whole bunch of women. And she going to connect with a whole bunch of guys. I just try to teach her. The only thing I try to teach her and tell her, and the same thing I try to apply to myself, I show Elizabeth how to ask guys questions to figure out what he's talking about. That's all I try to do. And then I say, okay, you do whatever you want to do. I don't got to go and follow back up around because the Creole girl inbox is hundreds. It's like one day we were sitting at my house and we was going through this. Remember we was going through that and all them other celebrities was in your inbox and stuff like that? And I say, sending them this message. And she was just showing me. Now, and I think that was a conversation I initiated or whatever. Someone was talking to her. And then now I just step back and I know her phone be going off and stuff like that. And guys be sending crazy stuff to her. And I can see because it flashes on her phone. I don't get mad at her. And I don't go searching through her phone looking for a reason to be mad at her. Because if you go through someone's phone and you're looking for something, you might just find something. You know what I'm saying? And take it out. Get your feelings hurt. So at the end of the day, it does come down to trust. But at the end of the day, know who you are, know what you will, know what your deadlines are, know what your no-goes are. And then you don't got to worry about proving it to social media or anyone else about why you feel the way you feel. Just be who you are. I'm sorry, I don't talk. I don't preach. Did a sermon, benediction.
Right. You wrote a book.
wrote a book. We was talking about unprofessional, uncut. We was talking about sex and hitting it from the back and all that stuff.
Shut up.
But this is what happens. This is what happens. But that's crazy to me how this is my thing. I don't understand how people can be in relationships and have a more open communication with their friends versus the person that they lay down with every night.
Yeah.
That's so...
Thank you.
Misunderstood.
It's all relationships, even to build good relationships and good foundations. You have to communicate with if it's your homegirl, if it's your homeboy, if it's your man, your husband. Those are still relationships.
Right.
It might not be sex relationships, but you still have to nurture them. If my homegirl pisses me off, I'm not gonna call honey and say, "Oh my God, Rebecca pissed me off and she did this." I'm gonna call Rebecca and tell her. And we're going to talk about it. Because if you're friends, you fix it and you sit and talk about it, not gossip about it.
Yeah. Right.
And people get it off. Well, the Creole girl, she did this. It was one said, I don't know. I like the Creole girl. Well, she ain't got this. She ain't this. Listen, I am an entrepreneur. I have a day job. I am a care coordinator. I work with old people and make sure that they get their advocate. More like their advocate. It's called care coordinator. So when they get from the hospital, I make sure that they're set up, in a proper, home or assisted living and how much nursing care they get and how much this. I take care of my mother. I have a night job. I'm in media. I got like 3 jobs. Yeah. And I will turn my Uber on when I feel like it.
Yeah.
I know
that's right. Day, this is a hustler. At the end of the day, don't get the look on how it looks undercover because a lot of things, and I take care of my mother. Right. And I got my 2 kids. And still a relationship, personal relationship and personal life. Don't think because you see me doing this that I'm going to tell you, because most women ain't doing half of what I'm doing. Yeah. Because most of them taking care of their dang mama. Right. And don't want to.
Mm-hmm. That's absolutely right.
Well, you know what, Elizabeth, she's the Creole girl. I keep calling her by, you know what I'm saying?
Elizabeth.
She works hard, but I think that we all focus. And I think one of the things that they should pull away from this particular show, this particular topic, one, if you're going to call whatever the sex name that you're going to call your boo, let it be because that's what you want to do. Don't do it because it's an imitation or a copy of somebody else. If you want to call your dude daddy, call him daddy. You know what I'm saying?
Call that man daddy.
Call him Zaddy.
Zaddy.
Yeah, I actually like that, Chris. We not have to conversation in the car. But you know what I'm saying? But make it interesting. You know what I'm saying? Like if Creole came and said, "Hey daddy," or something like that. Make it interesting. You got to keep your relationship spicy and stuff. Like, a dude wants to keep it changing, keep it all the way. And the Creole may be a good looking chick, but I still want her to be spicy with me and say things that makes me want to get all like interested and stuff like that. And I also, as a guy, need to say stuff to her to make her want to be back interested in me. And then that's how we keep the fire burning. And so if you have a sexual name that you like to call each other, do it. But I always believe in this. Create a code name that you can say to each other in public and they know what that is. If you know what I'm saying? Like, you could say something, don't say cookies, because that's like anything sweet, they know you're referring to sex. But find something that is a code name that works for your relationship. So when she hears that, no one else knows what that means. So if you got a way that I'm horny, I'm ready to have sex, then find hey, I'm ready for the NYC. Let's do that NYC. Let's, you know what I'm saying? I gotta go. Whatever the word is, make code names, make creative name, and you create your dictionary of words that you want to say in your relationship that adds value back to your relationship. Whatever your closed bedroom talk is, you add it. Like Nani said, she calls Johnny Daddy Jones. That makes it interesting, you know, for them in their relationship. So Nani keeps calling him Daddy Jones. That's their little inside thing. And I keep calling Elizabeth. I call her more than just Creole. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, whatever it is that I call her, I want to keep it interesting so she can stay interested in me.
Yeah.
You know? And role play. I like role play, too.
Yeah, role playing is very, very, very good in a
I love
relationship.
honey.
She talks about role playing probably every weekend.
And you ain't got to keep it just in the house. You can so I got this one role play.
Okay, let me hear.
And this is what you
Let me
do.
hear.
So you act like, I seen this on a movie though, but you act like a prostitute. But,
Okay.
but the guy don't know, but the guy doesn't know. So you just call him, call your man. I need you to come get me. Oh, my tire broke down or something. And you know, and you get in the car. He frantic trying to help you when he pull up, and you get in the car. Boom, it's going.
It's
going
down.
Shoot.
It's about to go.
And he don't know what's going on. You that's when you come with your trench coat and you ain't got nothing on. It's like, what's going on?
I said when I get married, I want a pole in the room.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ain't nothing wrong with being on the pole.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
You better work it,
Especially
too.
if you know what you're
You
doing.
better work that
Pretend
pole.
you a stripper, put your little heels on. Ain't nothing wrong
No,
with
don't be
that.
acting.
Bring the
You better learn how to click them too.
No, the women be acting like they
Left eye
pretending they
shake.
be a stripper, but they don't strip before. They don't be pretending.
Hey,
Keep the
Everybody been
fantasy
on
in the
the
bedroom.
phone.
I know that's right.
You want your woman to be professional, a lady in the streets and
and
a
a
freak in the sheets.
bed.
Ah, yeah, that's that old school.
You definitely want it, so you gotta
Exactly.
keep it spicy.
Because listen, if you don't do it, somebody else will.
Yeah.
Right. Somebody else doing it already.
Absolutely.
And it's that.
You're right, doing it already.
You know what? But you know what? You got to keep it interesting. That's why I say keep your relationship interesting, whatever it is. If you haven't did something in a long time, it's like content. Like, do it again.
Yeah.
Like, just catch, like you said, catch them off guard. Catch her off guard and just do something. Like, I never know. See, I never know when I'm going to surprise Creole with something or do something that's going to be different. But I want to it's just like media. I got to keep people interested, right?
Yeah.
I got to keep changing the game up. And just like the people that's watching our stream, they got to keep changing the game up, And so, if you want someone to be there forever, you got to act like they're going to be there forever.
And please, in your relationship, do not schedule sex. That's so annoying to me.
Oh, my God.
Please don't schedule sex. I
do
got to
it when you
pencil
gonna
you
do
in
it.
on Tuesday.
Then pencil in on 4 o'clock, 4 a.m. 4
You late to your appointment.
Hey, so let me
Okay?
ask you something before we
Just
get
do
off
it when you
air.
don't do it.
Threesomes, believe in it, have them.
They're not for me because I don't like sharing, so.
You know what? There's this guy that keeps asking me to have. He actually just asked me last night, and I'm just like, if I won't do you by yourself, what makes you think I'm gonna be okay with adding somebody else?
Well, because he may think that
I
you
don't
may
do
be
threesomes.
okay with somebody else. You may be interested in somebody else. Two women and a guy, or 2 guys and a woman.
2 guys and a woman is a train. You get a train. Flat out. They run in a train.
Thank you, a train. And I hope they have on some condoms.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's crazy.
I'm not into threesomes.
Me
I
neither.
don't like
No.
sharing. I don't do it.
Not into
I'm
it.
never going to do it. So that's off the table for me. I don't
It's
do that.
off the table.
I'm sorry.
Well,
don't share.
Why? There's nothing wrong. There's nothing. I think people need to. I do believe that. Okay, so I got to give you 2 sides. Okay, my conservative side says
That conservative side is already off the hook.
Right.
Look, the real girl right out of it. I don't know.
Turned them up.
It's hard to be conservative around me.
Look, Creole, you are so funny. We gonna watch this show again. I'm just gonna be embarrassed on some of this stuff. But like the conservative side to me says that you're in a relationship, whatever your relationship, be open to the person's ideas or what they would like to see happen. If you become open to the ideas, then that means that they will not venture off in their mind with other ideas. Now, you got to be able to say, are there certain things that you got to be a no-go? So you open up a threesome, then that's opening up Pandora box.
You ain't lying.
You know what I'm saying?
But you know what? I thought about this before. I take that back because, like, if I went if we was out of town somewhere, you know, something that it's not gonna come back.
People don't know you.
People don't know me. Oh, we can maybe have a blast. You know what I'm saying? I may be open to it in that aspect. But like, as far as,
1942.
you know, it's people asking their friends to do threesome with their partners.
Hell
and it's just
no.
like,
Right.
a friend asked me to do a threesome with her
I've
and
been
her dude,
asking
and it's
for,
just
like,
no.
Serious.
Girl.
Isaiah said, he said, with me, this is, oh my God, I love Isaiah. We've known him since he was little. He went to school with my daughter. He said, with me playing
You shouldn't be
pro
watching
soccer-
this stream, then. If
Right,
you're in school
for
with your
real.
daughter.
He's an adult now. He's older than I am. He's an adult now. I've known him since he was little. He said, me playing pro soccer. He said, I enter a relationship and girls start popping up in my inbox until I'm in a relationship. He said, I would appreciate if I didn't message in this manner. And they didn't back off. He said, what does he do? Because now he's playing pro soccer now. And he's like, all people, you know, the inbox.
Yeah.
How does he, you know, figure out and wean out the face from the reels?
Well, the first thing, if you're meeting people on Facebook, that's the number one rule. Don't. Because Facebook is the biggest front ever created to mankind. Facebook rich. And the only way personally, I felt more organic. Like, when I first met Elizabeth, we didn't even become friends on Facebook to like a year, 2 years later or something like
we
that.
Met at Walmart.
We met at
in
Walmart.
the school supply aisle.
In the school supply aisle.
So you can meet at Walmart, even though Walmart is kind of trapped, but I like
Yeah,
Target
Walmart
better.
is trapped. No, the gas station is trapped. The gas station. If
No,
you
but-
meet somebody at the gas station,
The gas station
It's
is
a
a
trap.
trap.
Listen, when I met, actually, with the funny thing, when I met Creole at the thing, she wasn't even at her best. She didn't even like, you know, she was just.
I had on some.
She had her
Uggs, but
Burberry
I was branded up though.
scarf.
I was branded up though.
I had my Uggs on. I had my Victoria's Secret pants on. I had a little tank top on, and I had my Burberry headscarf on.
And I wasn't trying to hit on you, was I?
No, but oh no. Can I get
Oh,
some
don't try
help
to
in-
change the years
Can
now
I get
down the
some
road.
help
What
in
he
the
say?
supply
What
aisle?
was the initial conversation?
Well, he had like one basket full of like all this school supply stuff. Because then I come to find out every year he donates, like, you know, to schools
I was
or
buying
schools.
supplies for 300
And I'm like,
students.
I thought either he a teacher or he trapping with a lot of kids.
Yeah.
So that was my two. He walked up to me and said, what else can I try to get, you know, with kids this age? And I'm just helping him like, oh, get this. I was shopping for my kids too. Get
Yeah.
this. That's kind of, I was talking about what I do for a living. We exchange phone numbers, and that's kind of what it. We talked for like 45 minutes about just random stuff, all kind of stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
See,
you know
and
what?
that's really the best. Like he wasn't thirsty or you know lusting over you.
Relationships should start with friendships anyway. I say a lot of dudes nowadays, they just want to get to the bumping and grinding.
Oh,
Get down.
Isaiah said it's the old girls from the past. Isaiah, my advice to you for coming from a woman, if they didn't like you in the past and they're trying to be in your face now,
Don't do it.
Skirt them.
It's
What
just
they
a new
What's
season,
What's
that's
that one
it.
song called? Now
Cut
that
it.
I'm rich, what's that one song about the
I
guy?
know what
Houston?
you mean.
Started from the bottom down here.
No.
They didn't
Now
know.
I'm rich. Now you.
Now that I'm rich, now you up on me. What's
Yes,
that? You know what I'm
you
talking
know
about?
what-
Back then they didn't want me. Now they all over
There
me.
you go.
That
There,
one.
yeah.
I had to build it up like
That
what was
one.
it?
That one.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
So,
right.
How old is this young man?
Isaiah, how old are you now? He's what?
He gotta be like
He's
24.
like 19. No, he's like 19, 20.
Oh, he
19,
shouldn't
20?
be listening to this stuff.
Look,
watching your stream.
19, 20.
But anyways, but you know what? I would say this to him too.
Mike Jones.
That
Mike
Kirby
Jones, yeah.
Mike Jones. There you go. Thank you, Mr. Kirby.
look, but
Thank
you
you,
know what?
Miss Thompson.
My thing is this: if you are even entertaining, like if I'm on Facebook and chicks hit me up,
Aziza
which
said back then. That's it. Love you, Aziza.
if I'm on Facebook and I'm, you know, some chick is hitting me up on my Facebook status, blah, 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 OD, I want to get to know you like they always do or whatever. And I'm willing enough to open up the stat and entertain it. That lets me know where I'm not at in life. Because where I'm not at is on Facebook trying to find a chick. Where I am at is trying to find someone organically that I can connect with.
Right.
You've already knew them people. You gotta let your past be the past. That's why I said even the proverb says, "Shall a dog return back unto its vomit?"
I knew a scripture was going to come.
You knew a scripture going to
I knew
That
a
is the
scripture was
proverb.
gonna
Come on,
before
somebody.
we entered this radio station.
Should a
I
dog
knew
return
it.
unto his vomit? And that's basically saying, should an ex go back to what they came from? Should I go back to where I used to be, or should I go forward? See, if I went back to my ex, then I would have never been able to move forward
Exactly.
with the Creole girl, right? So if you are still contemplating your past, you have not gotten nowhere, no way.
Yeah.
You should let your past be the past, so that way your future, when it comes, is not interrupted. by your past.
And don't let
Amen.
your
Preach
past
it.
relationships interfere with your current relationships. So whatever happened bad in your negative, don't bring that baggage into your new one.
And then-
So they
Ladies
the
and
same
gentlemen,
people.
don't let your past paralyze your future.
Absolutely. Hashtag
Girl, you about to
Amen,
make
amen.
somebody shout. We talked about taking condoms
Wait a
off.
minute,
We
wait a
talked
minute.
about
My
hitting it
girl
from the
wrote-
back,
my
but
girl-
now we gonna go
my
ahead.
girl wrote the song out. She said, back then they didn't want me. Now I got hot hoes all up on me. Back then them hoes didn't want me. Now I'm not hot. They not up on me. I said,
Oh, we can't read the whole
She's like,
song.
man,
Hold up.
scripture.
She don't got the whole song.
Right.
Wait a minute.
I love it. I love it. She said the lyrics.
Look,
You know what?
You know what?
I know that's right.
But I think that we like if a person, I just think you have to recognize where you are. You're not that person anymore. That's the thing. When I'm in middle school, for that young man Isaiah, if you in middle school and high school and you're now 19 years old and you starting to see all those old people that didn't want you, now they want to be with you
How
and
old
stuff.
now, Isaiah?
He said 19.
No, I might be wrong. I'm going to ask him.
Oh, okay. Well, anyways, it doesn't really matter. The principle of the story is that back then, that's who you was then.
Right.
When you go into your future, that's who you are now. So the same person that I am now, if I would have met Creole 10, 15 years ago, I probably wouldn't be interested. I'd just say that she'd be a pretty face, but I wouldn't be interested. But now that I'm older and I understand better, I realize that she's my right now.
Yes.
Because sometimes, like, the stuff that I was looking for then is stuff that she already possessed. Now, there may be flaws that everyone possesses because you're not going to find there's not a perfect person. You just got to ask yourself,
And we're
what is my
completely
winner? What is my
People
winner?
hate
What,
all
what
the
do
time.
what do I really value? And I value most is maybe their values or their morals or whatever it is, or how they support me, or how they make me feel. You got to ask yourself, what is it that person...
What do you need in a relationship?
Yeah.
People hate it all the time. The people out, when you think about it, we're very different.
Yeah.
And OD's conservative. I'm a very liberal to the left.
I'm definitely
I'm
conservative.
wild. He's kind of laid back. I'm like all over the place. I'm in the club, I'm gonna party, I'm gonna have me a drink, and yes, I do drink. But the thing, and OD doesn't.
Stop saying it like you drink like that. She does not.
I don't
First
drink
of all,
that, but
let me
if
hold
I'm a
up.
social
No,
drinker.
no,
I ain't a-
no.
Look,
do you drink like us?
No,
'Cause we
I gotta listen. I gotta clear this up because
Oh,
I don't want
gosh.
nobody thinking that the Creole girl is a drinker. She is not a drinker.
have a glass
Okay,
of wine
she
maybe here and there.
she's what we call a social
yeah,
person.
that's
If
okay.
people around her may have a drink in their hand, she will have a drink just to make sure that you don't feel uncomfortable. But when we go out, a lot of times we go out, she don't drink, she don't have that. There's not like stuff that she have sitting
I'm not a
aside.
drunk, but I'll have a
But
drink.
when you say drinker, babe, you got to understand that people are interpreting what you're saying.
But listen,
and I
it's
want
what it goes.
you can't turn your phone
I
over.
am.
Wait,
I can't worry about what
I don't
you.
want.
That's the whole point.
No, it's
I'm
not
not
about
here
worrying.
for fans.
It's not. It's not
That's the
about
problem.
worrying.
See,
it's just
he's
when
worried
people.
about that. I'm not you guys.
No,
ladies and
because
gentlemen.
I care about a brand. I'm trying to
Yeah.
promote an
But
image.
back to what I was gonna say.
But you got to make sure that, because people jump on your stream or they'll jump on your Facebook and you may have said something in
Get
that
to know the
moment
book.
and
Read
then
the book and open up and stop
assume
judging on the outside.
they will
Open up,
assume
take
that
time out to know me.
No, but the thing is, people will assume that you are this way. If you make a comment, if I say I do da da da, people that heard that comment for that one moment, that's how they're gonna judge me. So I try to make sure that y'all know that she's not a drinker. Now, she may have a glass of wine. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. That's not even what she regularly participate in. Okay? So I just want to make sure everyone understands she's not a drinker.
I'm not a regular participator in drinking.
Okay, let's leave
months
drinking
without
alone.
eating.
But at the end of the day,
The back to the story was we had hate because we're so different. They'll call him, well, why you with her? Because I do go to church. Actually, I go to church a lot. But so
she goes
what?
more than me, and
I ain't gotta
I think that
advertise
I
it.
go a lot, but she
I'm
goes
just
more
saying,
than
the
me.
thing is, though, people perceive they got a certain image, like, oh, well, he should have been with this person, or I should have been with this person,
Right.
and people don't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They prejudge, or oh well, I can't believe Terry put her cleavage in.
Yeah.
Listen, stop looking at my titties, then.
For real.
Women and men
Right.
say that though.
Stop looking. Close your eyes. Don't hate because I got them.
I don't know. I just look at the end of the day, I'm trying to win. We got to win, y'all. So, if you're going to be a freak, be a freak. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to be lovey-dovey, be lovey-dovey. But whatever it is that you don't
Ain't
want
about
people to
that
judge
life.
you on, don't put it on social media.
Boom.
Period.
Boom.
If you don't want to be judged on it, don't put it out there. Just keep it. Let it be your little simple little secret and stuff like that. Because, Facebook, presents one image, and you got to ask yourself, what is the image that I want people to know me as? Because the way you present yourself is the way people are going to connect with you. You present yourself as a hoe on social media, I'm going to be in your inbox, connect with you like you're a hoe. You know,
give a damn. Pretty people called him gay, and that man was far from gay. That man loved women, and he just look at Madonna. Yeah. I like those artists because they're not living for people. They living for themselves.
And Lady Gaga too.
Lady Gaga at the end
she
of the day,
showed up to the award ceremony dressed up like had a meat dress on, stanking up the place.
The Creole girl is honest. The Creole girl is real. Yeah. She ain't no fake friend. She ain't no hoe. If she got your back, she'll fight with you. She gonna ride with you.
I don't know. At the end of the day, I have an image. I have a brand, and at the end of the day, there's only so much I can show of who I am to people, and that's how I want people to connect with me. I want people to connect with me on the business, media, social level. So I present myself to be social, media, business, and so that's how I want them to connect. I'm not going to put crazy stuff on my Facebook page if I'm trying to connect with the president of the United States. I mean, I'm not going to do that. Right. I got to connect. I got to ask myself who my audience is. And if you don't want people judging you from the way you look or, you know, your boobs down, whatever they may do or however they may judge you or whatever, then don't put it out there.
Listen, Obama is the president of the United States, and he's going to argue my president. I'm going to tell you this. That man had the White House so black. Rappers been in there. Jamie Foxx, everybody been up in there. You know what? Right. He keeps it real. He likes his jazz. He gets down. And back then, he used to smoke a cigarette too, but that's why people liked him, because he was real.
A person.
He was a person.
He gonna start smoking once he leave that White House.
He wasn't pretending. He wasn't pretending to be something. He had the White House.
Well, if Donald Trump can cuss in a thing, then it is what it is.
The White House is anybody's house now.
All right, guys, we over. For real, we had so much fun with y'all.
Thank you.
Y'all have to come back, and we gonna come on your show. We just gonna come. You ain't even gotta invite us. We gonna be there.
No, invite us. Look, invite us. We not gonna be ratchet because we be telling people too. Don't just be showing up to the studio.
Look. I want to thank you guys so much for having us on your show. We definitely appreciate it. We need to get you on our show, and I just want to give everybody a real quick update what's going on with OD Harris Media and what we're doing over here. Number one is that I got a radio show that's coming out on Icon Radio. It's called the Entrepreneurship Report. And we talk to people on the business level. Whatever your business is, it doesn't matter how ratchet it is or how luxurious it is. It's still a business, and we want to talk to you about your business. Yeah. Okay? And then number two is that...
if you're a call girl, we want you on the show. I want to know how your calls go.
Hey, look. And then number two is we're working on some stuff, some content right now for Creole to have her own show. And so we're working on that right now, and we're looking for people who wants to take on our project with her so that way she can have her own platform, because she has a lot to talk about, and some stuff that she talks about is it just needs to be for her audience. You know. And
what's the word of the day, OD?
Huh?
Everybody have a word of the day. What's your word?
Wait, well, can I finish telling our announcements for our media company? We actually partner with Support District Radio. And so a lot of our we're going to be doing live broadcasting from where we are, like on the red carpets when we go to the Image Awards and when we're going to the Grammys and the Oscars and stuff. Creole's going to be doing live broadcasting with Support District Radio syndicated platform. So that's going to be coming up in February. It's going to be a big media month. She's going to be doing a lot. We're going to be doing a lot of red carpets and stuff. So we really want you guys to kind of stay tuned. But we want you to stay tuned to Support District Radio and download the app, because when we go live, we never know exactly when the content is going to come out or when it's going to go live. And I'm working with Amanda right now and Johnny Jones and those ones, Cliff, to get Clive. I think, did I say it right? But we're working with everybody at Support District Radio to help make sure the program is on point and make sure the broadcast is on point. So we're going to be connecting with celebrities and stuff like that. And whoever's in the entertainment industry, we're going to be interviewing them, and we're going to be putting that content right here on this platform. And then also... moving forward with the BET Awards, we got that coming up, and we need some people that wants to come down with the BET Awards with us and rock and do some media stuff with us, some pictures. Y'all there? Yeah. Okay, bet. Well, that's what we need. We need that during the BET Awards, and we have my launch party coming up April 29th. But the Creole girl and I, we was talking about doing something doing a big party hospitality suite down at the BET Awards and letting that be the OD Harris Media thing. But Johnny Jones and the Creole girl is going to be hosting it, and I got to get with Nani after this show, and we're going to talk about some more details. So I just want you guys to stay tuned, odharrismedia.com, where you can keep track of everything. You can follow me on social media, OD_Harris, on Twitter, Facebook, everything. I do my morning entrepreneurship report on my Facebook Live every morning at 9 o'clock a.m. to 9:30, and then I do my little Sunday morning inspirational stuff every Sunday morning at 9 o'clock in the morning. Creole Girl, you can follow her at that Creole Girl on Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, all her stuff.
Twitter.
And I want to thank you guys for allowing us to be on your show. It's been dope hanging out with y'all. Beautiful women making things happen, and I like your uncensored talk.
So my word of the day is stay true to yourself, be real, and don't let society make you in a box. Be who you are and let people accept you for who you are.
Yep.
Not what they want you to be.
Yeah.
Well, I wish you would have said that close. And my word of the day would be, don't settle for good when you can have great.
Say it again.
Don't settle for good when you can have great.
Like that.
Hashtag Zaddy.
Zaddy.
All right, guys, this is Code Red, Support District Radio.
My Radio Phoenix.
Peace.